My child, stop for a moment. This is a personal message meant to reach you right now. I died for you, and before you move on with your day, I am asking for 1 minute of your full attention. Do not treat this lightly. Do not half listen. Stay with me, because what I am about to speak into your heart carries weight, carries truth, carries love that was proven in blood. You have heard about the cross before, but you have never heard it like this. Watch until the end. Let every word read you. If you stay, something inside you will shift, and you will not leave the same. My child, I want you to slow down with me right now. Just you and me. I need you to understand something that you may have heard many times, but you have never really allowed to settle into your heart. When I gave my life for you, it was not a distant sacrifice made for humanity in general. It was not a symbolic gesture. It was personal. I saw you. I knew your name before anyone else ever spoke it. I knew the tone of your laugh, the fears you would hide, the private struggles you would never admit out loud. I knew the version of you that smiles in public and the version of you that lies awake at night staring into the dark. And with all of that in full view, I chose to endure the cross. You were not a random face in a crowd to me. You were not an abstract soul in a distant future. You were specific. You were real. You were already in my heart when the nails pierced my hands. You have sometimes treated my death like a religious story, something sacred but far away from your daily life. You picture it as history, as something that happened long ago, disconnected from your present reality. But I need you to see that it was deeply connected to you. When I walked toward that hill, I was carrying more than wood on my back. I was carrying the weight of your guilt, your shame, your future regrets, even the mistakes you have not made yet. I saw the moments when you would feel unworthy. I saw the times when you would question if you had gone too far. I saw you doubting whether you could ever be fully loved. And I did not turn away. You need to understand that I was not surprised by your weaknesses. I was not hoping you would become perfect one day. I knew exactly who you would be, and I still moved forward. That is the depth of what I did for you. That is the cost you have never fully grasped. It was not only physical pain. It was the decision to absorb everything that would ever separate you from me so that you would never have to carry it alone. And I want you to sit with this part carefully. When you think about your worst moments, the ones you hope no one ever finds out about, the ones that still make your stomach tighten when you remember them, I had already seen those when I chose the cross. You sometimes imagine that if I truly knew everything about you, I would hesitate. But I did know. There was no hidden chapter. There was no secret that escaped my sight. I knew how stubborn you would be at times. I knew the pride that would creep into your heart. I knew the relationships you would mishandle. I knew the nights you would ignore me. None of that was a surprise waiting to be discovered. It was already visible to me. And still, I did not pull back. You need to stop thinking that my love was based on the best version of you. It was based on my heart, not your performance. That changes everything, because it means my sacrifice was not fragile. It was not conditional. It was not something that can be undone by your failures. When I allowed myself to be broken, I was not thinking about a future where you would earn it. I was thinking about a future where you would need it. There is a difference. You have spent so much of your life trying to become worthy, trying to clean yourself up before coming close to me. But I did not die for the cleaned up version of you. I died for the real you, the confused you, the anxious you, the version of you that sometimes doubts whether any of this is true. I carried that version of you with love. I did not die to create distance. I died to remove it. I did not suffer so you would live under pressure. I suffered so you could breathe without fear that you are one mistake away from losing me. When you begin to understand that the cost was paid with full knowledge of who you are, you will stop running from me and start leaning toward me. That is why I am speaking to you now. I do not want this to remain a distant belief in your mind. I want it to become something steady in your heart, something that reshapes how you see yourself every single day. My child, I need you to let this settle deep inside you because your heart has carried a quiet suspicion for years. You have wondered if you were an afterthought. You have looked at your life, at your flaws, at the ways you have stumbled, and you quietly assumed that I must have adjusted my love downward to accommodate you. You imagined that perhaps I planned something glorious once, but then you disappointed me, so I scaled it back. The thought has lived in you longer than you admit. Let me correct it gently but firmly. You were never an adjustment. You were never a backup plan. You were not added in later after I considered better options. Before the first sunrise touched the earth, I already saw you. Before your parents held you, I held the blueprint of your life in my heart. You did not slip into existence unnoticed. You were wanted. When I chose the cross, I did not discover you along the way. I did not react to your sin in frustration. I had already seen the whole arc of your story. That is what makes my sacrifice so deliberate. It was not emotional impulse. It was intentional love. I knew your strengths. I knew your stubborn streak. I knew how easily you would doubt yourself. I knew the times you would walk away from me and then feel ashamed to come back. None of it caught me off guard. I did not sit in heaven hoping you would turn out impressive enough to justify my suffering. I have already decided that you were worth it. You must stop thinking that my love depends on your progress. It does not rise and fall with your performance. It was set before you ever tried to prove yourself. You have sometimes compared yourself to others and assumed they must matter more. You saw their gifts, their confidence, their visible faith, and you quietly concluded that maybe I focus on them while you are somewhere on the edge of my attention. That belief has shaped how you pray. It has shaped how you approach me. You come cautiously, as if I am tolerating you rather than embracing you. I want you to release that thought right now. Drop it. Let it fall. You are not tolerated. You are treasured. When I think of you, I do not sigh in disappointment. I do not roll my eyes at your weakness. I see my child. I see the one I formed with care. I see the one whose heart I have been guiding even when you did not recognize my hand. You are not competing for my affection. You already have it. Consider this carefully. If you had been the only soul in need of redemption, I still would have stepped into suffering. That is not exaggeration to impress you. It is truth spoken plainly. My love is not distributed in fractions. It is not diluted by numbers. It is focused and fierce and fixed. When you say to yourself that you are small, that your life is ordinary, that you are replaceable, you are measuring yourself by human standards. I do not measure you that way. You are singular. There has never been another you, and there will never be another you again. That uniqueness matters to me. It is part of why I gave myself fully. I did not sacrifice myself for a vague concept called humanity. I sacrificed myself with your specific soul in view. I want you to absorb that. Let it challenge the lie that you are insignificant. Let it interrupt the voice that says you do not matter as much as others. You matter deeply to me. Now, respond to me in your heart. Tell me honestly if you have felt like an afterthought. I am not offended by your honesty. Bring it into the light. Speak it, and then allow me to replace it with truth. Stay with me as we move forward, because this understanding changes how you will hear everything else I say. My child, there is something you need to face without fear. I have seen your entire story from beginning to end. Not the polished version you present to others. Not the carefully edited narrative you prefer to tell. I have seen the raw pages, the scribbled corrections, the chapters you wish could be removed. I saw the first time you felt rejected. I saw the first lie you believed about yourself. I saw the moment when shame first wrapped itself around your thoughts. I saw every turning point, every detour, every decision that still echoes in your memory. Nothing has been hidden from me. And I want you to understand that my knowledge of you does not push me away. It draws me closer. You sometimes think that if your full story were displayed openly, love would retreat. You are used to conditional acceptance. You have learned to manage impressions. You show the strong side and conceal the fragile side. You show the confident exterior and burying the insecurity underneath. With me, there is no need for that performance. I already know. I know the words you regret speaking. I know the opportunities you wasted. I know the relationships you mishandled. I know the anger you suppressed and the jealousy you never confessed. I know the nights when you questioned whether I was real. And I am still here speaking to you. Let that reality sink in. My presence is not withdrawn. My affection has not thinned out. I have not stepped back in disappointment. When I endured the cross, I was not working with limited information. I was not unaware of your future. I saw the exact moments when you would feel far from me. I saw the times when you would choose pride instead of humility. I saw the seasons when you would drift into distraction. Yet I did not hesitate. I did not reconsider. My decision to give my life was made with full knowledge. That means your worst moments were already included in the cost. You do not surprise me. You do not shock me. You do not exhaust my patience. You may feel shocked by yourself sometimes, but I am not startled. I am steady. There is a reason I want you to understand this. You have been afraid to come close because you assume I will react the way others have reacted. You think I will bring up your past with sharp accusation. You think I will remind you of every failure with cold distance. That is not how I deal with you. I deal with you as a father who has already absorbed the cost. When I look at your story, I do not see a hopeless case. I see a life that can be restored. I see a heart that can be softened. I see growth still unfolding. You are not beyond repair. You are not defined by your lowest point. I saw your entire story and still chose redemption. That is not accidental love. That is committed love. Let me ask you something quietly. What part of your story are you most ashamed of? Bring it to me. Do not edit it. Do not soften it. Tell me the truth. I already know it, but I want you to speak it so you can feel the relief of not hiding. Come closer instead of pulling back. Allow yourself to be fully known and still fully loved. Stay here with me. There is more I want to show you as we continue. My child, when you think about the cross, you often focus on the pain, and you are not wrong to do that. It was brutal. It was sharp, suffocating, relentless. But I need you to understand something deeper. What I endured was not chaos. It was not meaningless suffering. It was not tragedy without direction. There was purpose woven into every wound. There was intention behind every insult, every strike, every breath that felt like fire in my lungs. I did not drift into death as a victim of circumstance. I walked into it with clarity. You need to see that clearly because your heart sometimes imagines that I was overpowered. I was not overpowered. I was offering myself. That changes everything. When you see your own suffering, you tend to assume it is pointless. You look at your setbacks and think they are signs of abandonment. But look at me. I stepped into agony not because I lost control, but because love required it. The cross was not an accident that happened to me. It was a decision I made for you. Every splinter of wood against my back, every mocking voice that surrounded me, every moment when the sky grew dark, I remained there because I could see beyond the immediate pain. I could see you. I could see the day when you would question whether you were worth saving. I could see the nights when you would whisper that you felt too broken to come back. And I stayed. That is not weakness. That is deliberate devotion. You need to let this truth settle into your bones. My suffering had a target. It had direction. It had your freedom in view. The shame you carry, the silent accusations in your mind, the internal courtroom where you constantly judge yourself, all of that was addressed there. When I allowed myself to be stripped and exposed, I was dismantling the power of your humiliation. When my hands were stretched open, it was not only physical surrender, it was an invitation. I was opening space for you to come home without fear. The pain was real, but it was not random. It was purposeful, pointed, precise. There was nothing chaotic about my love. Now I want you to do something uncomfortable. Stop minimizing what I did. Stop treating it like a poetic symbol instead of a personal rescue. You have grown familiar with the story, and familiarity has dulled your awe. Shake that off. Look at it again with fresh eyes. Picture the weight. Picture the cost. Not to drown you in guilt, but to awaken you to value. You do not give your life for something worthless. You do not endure humiliation for something disposable. You endured inconvenience for things you do not care deeply about, but you endure sacrifice only for what you treasure. I treasured you. That is why I remained. Let that truth confront the lie that you are insignificant. And here is something else you need to understand. Purpose does not erase pain, but it transforms it. The cross was agony, yet it was also access. It was suffering, yet it was salvation. That contrast matters. You often look at your life and assume that if it hurts, it must be wrong. But I turned the darkest day into the doorway of redemption. I can take what feels crushing in your life and shape it into something redemptive. Invite me into it. Do not isolate yourself in your confusion. Bring your pain to me and let me breathe purpose into it. I am not asking you to pretend it does not hurt. I am asking you to trust that it is not wasted. Come closer. Stay open. Let the meaning of my sacrifice move from history into your present reality. Take a moment now and respond in your heart. Do not rush. Let it sink in. My child, there is a quiet exhaustion in you that you rarely talk about. It comes from striving. It comes from constantly measuring yourself against an invisible standard. You try to improve, to correct, to refine, to fix. You approach me as if you are submitting a resume, hoping I will see enough progress to keep you accepted. That posture has shaped your relationship with me more than you realize. You come carefully, almost apologetically, as though you are waiting for approval to remain. I need you to hear me clearly. You do not have to earn what I already paid for. The transaction is finished. The debt is cleared. The price is not pending. It is paid in full. When I gave my life, I did not leave a portion unpaid so you could complete it later with good behavior. I did not expect you to add spiritual effort to make up the difference. You treat grace like a loan that must be repaid with performance. That is not how this works. Grace is a gift, and the gift loses its nature when you try to purchase it afterward. You have been living in quiet anxiety, afraid that one serious mistake will revoke everything. That fear does not come from me. I did not stretch out my hands so you could live under constant tension. I stretched them out so you could rest. I want you to examine the way you speak to yourself. When you fail, your inner voice becomes harsh. You replay your mistakes with sharp criticism. You promise to do better next time, as if you are negotiating for continued acceptance. That pattern has become familiar to you. But it is not the voice I use with you. My correction is firm when needed, but it is never rooted in rejection. I do not threaten you with withdrawal. I draw you back with compassion. If you stumble, come to me immediately. Do not clean yourself up first. Do not rehearse excuses. Come honestly. Let me meet you there. You do not impress me with self-punishment. You honor me with trust. Let this truth confront your pride as well. Sometimes your striving is not only fear, it is control. You want to feel responsible for your own redemption. You want to say you fix yourself. But salvation was never designed as a self-improvement project. It was designed as rescue. Rescue requires surrender. That word unsettles you because it means releasing your grip. But I am asking you now to loosen your hold. Stop negotiating your worth. Stop bargaining with your behavior. Accept what I have already secured for you. Think about this carefully. If I demanded perfection after sacrificing myself, my sacrifice would contradict itself. I knew you would need mercy repeatedly. I accounted for your weakness before you ever displayed it. That is not permission to live carelessly. It is freedom to live courageously. When you are no longer driven by fear of losing me, you can actually grow in love for me. That is the transformation I desire. Not performance rooted in panic, but obedience rooted in relationship. I want you to do something practical right now. Release the idea that you must qualify for my presence. Say it quietly if you need to. Tell yourself that the price has already been paid. Then approach me not as an employee seeking evaluation, but as a child returning home. I am not counting your failures to decide whether you stay. I have already decided that you belong. Stay with me. Let this truth soften the tension in your heart. My child, I can feel the resistance in you even as you listen. You are not rejecting me outright, but you are cautious. You hold part of yourself back. You nod at the truth, but you do not fully step into it. I know why. You have learned to protect your heart. You have trusted before and felt the sharp sting of disappointment. You have opened up before and been misunderstood. You have believed promises that were broken, and now you carry that quiet, careful posture into your relationship with me. You assume that if you lean too far in, you might get hurt again. So you stay half engaged, half guarded. You tell yourself that distance is safer than devotion. I want you to hear this clearly. I am not like the ones who failed you. My love does not shift with mood. It does not depend on your usefulness. It does not shrink when you struggle. When you hesitate with me, it is not because I have been inconsistent. It is because you have been conditioned by inconsistency. You expect warmth to fade. You expect patience to run out. You expect that eventually I will say I have had enough. But that expectation comes from human patterns, not from my heart. I need you to separate your past experiences from my character. Do not project onto me what others have done to you. Pause. Examine that carefully. Your fear makes sense based on what you have lived through, but it does not reflect who I am. Let me ask you something gently. When you pull back from me, what are you protecting yourself from? Do you think I will shame you? Do you think I will expose you without mercy? Do you think I will demand more than you can give? I see the narrative forming in your thoughts. You imagine a stern voice waiting to criticize. You imagine disappointment hovering over you. That picture is not accurate. I am firm when necessary, but I am not fragile. I am holy, but I am not hard. There is strength in me, yes, but it is steady strength, not volatile force. I am not waiting for a reason to withdraw. I am inviting you closer even when you are unsure. I want you to do something practical right now. Lower your guard a little. You do not have to dismantle every wall in a single moment, but open a small door. Speak honestly to me about your hesitation. Tell me where you are afraid. Tell me where you doubt my consistency. I am not threatened by your honesty. I would rather hear your real concerns than watch you hide behind polite distance. Come to me as you are, not as you think you should be. When you allow yourself to be known, you will discover that my response is not rejection. It is reassurance. You have been living with a cautious heart, always calculating risk. That pattern may have protected you in some relationships, but it is limiting you here. You cannot fully experience my love while keeping me at arm's length. I am not asking you to abandon wisdom. I am asking you to trust my character. I have never broken a promise to you. I have never lied to you. I have never betrayed your vulnerability. Reflect on that. When you look back, you will see that even in seasons when you felt distant, I was steady. I did not disappear. I did not change. I remained. Let that evidence speak louder than your fear. Come closer. Test my faithfulness. Give me the space to show you that I am not like the voices that wounded you. You are safe with me. Let the truth begin to soften the tight grip you have kept on your own heart. My child, this conversation we are having right now is not accidental. You may feel as though you simply paused long enough to listen, but I have been aware of this moment long before you recognized it. I have watched you move through seasons of distraction, seasons of searching, seasons of quiet confusion. I have seen the days when you were too busy to notice me and the nights when you were too tired to pray. Through all of that, I was not impatient. I was attentive. I knew there would come a time when your heart would be ready to slow down and hear me clearly. This is that time. You often think of me reacting to your life in real time, as if I am catching up to your decisions. That is not how I operate. I see the whole arc. I knew there would be a day when you would feel the weight of everything you have been carrying. I knew there would be a point when striving would exhaust you enough to seek something deeper. I knew there would be a quiet crack in your self-sufficiency that would open space for this conversation. I was thinking of this very moment when I gave my life for you. I knew you would need to hear these truths not as theory, but as lifeline. You may look at your journey and see detours, delays, even wasted time. I see development. I see growth that formed slowly beneath the surface. I see questions that sharpened your understanding. I see pain that humbled you in ways comfort never could. None of it has been random. Even your wandering has not been outside my awareness. I have not been wringing my hands in frustration. I have been guiding quietly, steering gently, ranging circumstances you did not recognize as protection. When doors closed unexpectedly, you felt confused. I saw danger ahead. When plans collapsed, you felt disappointed. I was redirecting you. When relationships ended, you felt abandoned. I was preserving you. Pause and consider how many times you could have been destroyed by your own decisions, yet you were not. Reflect on the narrow escapes you barely noticed. Think about the opportunities that seemed perfect but later revealed hidden consequences. I was there in those details. You may not have seen my hand, but my hand was steady, That is why I say I was thinking of this moment. I was shaping your path so that you would arrive here not hardened beyond reach, but open enough to listen. Now I am inviting you to respond. Do not treat this as a passing feeling. Do not reduce it to coincidence. Lean into it. Acknowledge that I have been present longer than you realized. Let that realization shift how you interpret your past. You are not the product of chaos. You are the product of care. Even your mistakes have been woven into a larger design. That does not excuse them, but it does redeem them. Stay with me in this awareness. Let gratitude replace suspicion. Let trust begin to grow where doubt once dominated. I have been patient with you, not because I am distant, but because I am deliberate. And now that you are here listening, do not rush away. There is more unfolding. My child, if I was thinking of this very moment when I gave my life for you, then I was also thinking of the ones who would hear my voice through you. This message is not only for your comfort, it is a lifeline for souls standing on the edge of despair. When you choose to support this mission through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are sowing seed into soil I have already prepared. Did I not say, cast your bread upon the waters, and it will return to you? I am breathing on every gift given in faith, turning small offerings into rivers of living water that reach places you may never see. If your heart hath been stirred, that stirring is my invitation, not pressure but partnership. The harvest is ready, and I am calling you to place oil in the lamp so the light does not go out. Act now. So boldly. Help carry my word further than you could ever walk alone. My child, I want you to sit still for a moment and notice your own breathing. Slow it down. Let your shoulders drop. You have been carrying more than you admit. You wake up with responsibility already pressing against your chest. You move through your day managing expectations, meeting needs, absorbing tension, holding yourself together. You rarely stop long enough to acknowledge how heavy it feels. You have learned to function under pressure so well that even you sometimes forget how tired you are. But I see it. I see the quiet strain in you. I see the mental lists that never end. I see the replay of past conversations that keeps you awake. You carry guilt. You carry regret. You carry fear about what might happen next. And you carry it alone more often than you should. When I gave my life for you, I did not only address your sin in some abstract spiritual sense. I stepped into your burden. The cross was not simply about eternal destiny, it was about daily weight. You have allowed the past to sit on your shoulders like a silent supervisor, constantly reminding you of what you should have done differently. You relive choices. You revisit failures. You rehearse arguments that already ended. That internal replay drains you. It steals your focus. It chips away at your peace. I did not endure humiliation so you could remain trapped in self-accusation. I carried your shame so you would not have to drag it through every season of your life. When I say I died for you, I mean I absorbed what was crushing you. I took on what was bending your back. I stepped under the load so you could stand upright again. You have also been carrying expectations that were never mine. You feel pressure to prove yourself to others. You measure your worth by productivity, by approval, by how well you meet invisible standards. That pressure feels normal to you now, but it was never the life I designed for you. You are not meant to live in constant comparison. You are not meant to wake up each morning bracing for judgment. I want you to pause and ask yourself whose voice you are trying to satisfy. Is it mine? Or is it the echo of criticism from years ago? I speak truth to you, but I do not harass you. I guide you, but I do not suffocate you. When you carry weight that feels relentless and rigid, it is not coming from me. So I am inviting you right now, practically and personally, to hand it over. Do not spiritualize it in vague language. Name it. Tell me what is exhausting you. Tell me what memory still makes your stomach tighten. Tell me what responsibility feels heavier than you can handle. Bring it into this conversation. You have tried to manage it through distraction. You have tried to silence it with busyness. You have tried to outwork it. None of those strategies have brought relief. Come to me instead. Lay it down. Imagine placing it at my feet. I am not distant. I am present. I am strong enough to carry what is breaking you. You may think you need to hold it together for everyone else. You may feel that if you stop carrying it, everything will fall apart. That belief has kept you locked in survival mode. Let me challenge them gently. You are not the savior of your world. I am. You can release what was never yours to sustain. That does not mean abandoning responsibility. It means shifting the source of your strength. When you walk with me, you do not walk alone under the load. You walk supported. You walk steadied. You walk sustained. Let that image settle into your mind. You standing, not hunched. You breathing, not bracing. You moving forward without that constant internal pressure. Now take a moment and respond. Even if it is only a whisper in your heart, say it. Give me what you have been holding. Stay with me in this exchange. My child, there is a part of you that still believes my love might have shifted after certain moments in your life. You look back at specific choices and you cringe. You remember words you wish you had never spoken. You remember actions you wish you could undo. You remember seasons when you ignored me or walked away from what you knew was right. And somewhere deep inside, you suspect that those moments must have altered how I see you. You think I tolerated you before, but now I see you differently. I need to confront that belief with clarity. Your mistakes did not change my decision about you. When I went to the cross, I was not operating with partial information. I did not assume you would live flawlessly. I knew the full range of your humanity. I knew your impulsive moments. I knew your insecurity. I knew your stubborn resistance. I knew the compromises you would make. And still, I moved forward. My sacrifice was not fragile. It was not contingent on your future obedience. It was rooted in my character. My love is not a reaction to your behavior. It flows from who I am. That means your worst day did not shock me into reconsidering you. I was not caught off guard by your weakness. You have a habit of magnifying your failures and minimizing my mercy. You replay your errors as though they are the defining headline of your life. You assume that because you are disappointed in yourself, I must be equally disappointed in you. But my perspective is different. I see the entire story, not just the chapter you are ashamed of. I see the context. I see the wounds that influenced your decisions. I see the immaturity you are growing out of. I see the pressure you were under. That does not excuse everything, but it informs how I respond. I correct you when necessary, but I do not discard you. I refine you, but I do not reject you. Consider this carefully. If your mistakes were powerful enough to cancel my sacrifice, then my sacrifice would have been weak. But it was not weak. It was complete. It was decisive. It was sufficient. When I said it was finished, I meant it. I did not leave room for future surprises to undo what I accomplished. You need to stop living as though you are on probation. You are not waiting for a verdict. The verdict has already been declared in your favor because I took your place. That is not sentimental language. It is spiritual reality. I want you to do something courageous right now. Think of the mistake that still haunts you, the one that feels like a permanent stain. Bring it into the light of this moment. Do not soften it. Do not justify it. Just acknowledge it. Then hear me clearly. That did not change my mind about you. That did not make me regret loving you. That did not cause me to withdraw my presence. I am not naive about your capacity to fail. I am confident in my capacity to redeem. You have been punishing yourself internally, as though self-condemnation proves sincerity. It does not. It only keeps you stuck. Come to me instead. Allow my forgiveness to be stronger than your self-criticism. Let grace do its work. Walk forward without dragging yesterday behind you. You cannot step into what I have for you if you insist on staring backward. Lift your eyes. Look at me. I am still here. I am still committed. I am still calling you forward. Stay with me. Let this truth settle into your thinking. My child, there were seasons when you stopped talking to me the way you used to. You did not make a dramatic announcement. You did not declare that you were done. You simply grew quiet. Your prayers became shorter. Your worship felt mechanical. Your heart felt distant. You carried questions you did not know how to ask, and instead of bringing them to me, you tucked them away. I watched that happen, and I did not react with anger. I understood the silence. I knew it was not rebellion as much as it was weariness. You were tired of hoping for answers that seemed delayed. You were tired of asking for clarity and hearing nothing but your own breathing in the room. So you withdrew. You assumed I must be disappointed in you for that distance. I was not. You need to understand something important. Your silence never intimidated me. It never confused me. I knew what was underneath it. I saw the disappointment you were wrestling with. I saw the fear that if you prayed again and nothing changed, it would hurt even more. You were protecting your heart from further disappointment. That is why you went quiet. It was not because you stopped caring. It was because you cared deeply and did not want to feel let down again. I saw the way you would start to speak to me and then stop halfway through your thoughts. I heard the prayers you never finished. I was present in the rooms where you felt spiritually numb. I did not leave when you grew quiet. Sometimes you assume that relationship requires constant spiritual intensity. You think if you are not emotionally expressive, then you are failing me. That belief has made you feel guilty for seasons of dryness. But I am not measuring you by volume. I am not grading you on emotional energy. I know that life can exhaust you. I know that grief can dull your words. I know that confusion can make your mind feel foggy. When you could not find language, I was still listening. When you felt distant, I was still near. Your silence did not create a gap in my presence. It simply revealed that you were struggling. Now I am inviting you to speak again. Do not wait until you feel spiritually strong. Do not wait until your faith feels impressive. Come as you are. If all you can say is that you feel confused, say that. If all you can admit is that you are unsure, tell me that. I would rather hear your uncertainty than watch you pretend certainty. Open your mouth. Open your heart. Let your words come out unpolished. I am not looking for eloquence. I am looking for honesty. When you speak honestly, even in weakness, you are closer to me than you realize. And I want you to reflect on this. During the time you felt silent, I was not silent in my care. I was sustaining you in ways you did not notice. You were still breathing. You were still protected from certain dangers. You were still guided away from paths that would have harmed you deeply. My involvement did not depend on your vocal expression. That should comfort you. It means I am faithful even when your faith feels fragile. It means my steadiness is not fragile like human commitment. So come back into conversation with me. Do not rehearse guilt before you speak. Do not assume I am waiting to correct you. I am waiting to hear you. Speak now. Stay present. Let this silence end not with shame, but with renewed connection. My child, one of the heaviest thoughts you carry is the idea that you should have responded sooner. You look at your life and think about the years that passed. You replay opportunities you missed. You imagine a version of yourself that would be further along spiritually if you had listened earlier. That regret has quietly shaped how you see the future. You tell yourself that perhaps I still love you, but maybe you have missed the best of what I had planned. That belief has made you hesitant to hope. I need to speak clearly into that fear. You are not too late. Time does not operate for me the way it operates for you. You measure your progress against age, milestones, comparisons with others. You see peers who seem ahead, more disciplined, more mature, more accomplished in their faith. You feel behind. You think you should be further along by now. But I am not surprised by your pace. I have never looked at you and said, you should have arrived sooner. I see the full context of your journey. I see the wounds you were healing from. I see the responsibilities you were carrying. I see the confusion you were navigating. Growth is not a race. It is a process. And your process has not disqualified you. You also fear that certain doors have permanently closed. You imagine that some blessings were time-sensitive and now unavailable. Let me challenge that thought gently. I am capable of restoring years that feel wasted. I am capable of redirecting paths that seemed lost. When I say I redeem, I mean I reclaim and rework what you assumed was gone. That does not mean every consequence disappears. It means your story is not locked into regret. You are not standing at the end of opportunity. You are standing in the middle of it. Consider how many times in your life you assumed something was over, only to discover a new direction later. Think about relationships that ended but led to deeper self-understanding. Think about plans that failed but opened unexpected paths. You could not see it at the time, but I was guiding even then. If I was faithful in those seasons, why would I abandon you now? Your past delays have not exhausted my ability to lead you forward. Do not let regret become your identity. Learn from it, yes, but do not live inside it. I want you to do something deliberate. Release the narrative that says you have missed your chance. Say it internally if you need to. You are not disqualified. You are not forgotten. You are not beyond timing. Lift your eyes from the rearview mirror. Stop staring at what you think you lost. Look ahead. I am still writing your story. There are chapters you have not yet read. There are experiences you have not yet stepped into. There is growth that has not yet unfolded. Do not shrink back because you feel late. Step forward because I am still leading. Trust that I am not limited by your timeline. Trust that my grace is not on a deadline. Stay with me in this confidence. You are not too late to return fully. You are not too late to change direction. You are not too late to receive what I have been holding for you. Stay here. Let the truth settle. My child, there is something in you that tightens whenever you think about surrender. You hear the word and immediately imagine restriction, confinement, loss of freedom. You have seen authority abused. You have experienced leadership that demanded obedience without compassion. You have watched people use power to dominate instead of protect. So when you hear me call you closer, when you hear me ask for your heart, part of you wonders if I am about to limit your life rather than expand it. I need you to understand this clearly. I did not give my life to control you. I did not endure the cross to turn you into a fearful follower who moves only out of anxiety. I stepped into sacrifice so you could live in freedom, not in chains. Look at the nature of my sacrifice. Control takes. Love gives. Control demands. Love invites. When I stretched out my hands, I was not tightening a grip around you. I was opening a door. If my desire were domination, I would not have chosen suffering. I would have chosen force. But I chose vulnerability. I chose exposure. I chose to be misunderstood and mocked rather than compel you with fear. That alone should tell you something about my heart. I am not interested in puppets. I am interested in relationship. I am not trying to manage your behavior like a supervisor tracking performance. I am drawing you into trust. You sometimes imagine that following me means losing your personality, your preferences, your individuality. You fear becoming smaller, quieter, less alive. That fear is built on misunderstanding. I created your mind. I shaped your temperament. I designed your curiosity. Why would I erase what I intentionally formed? When I guide you, I am not erasing you. I am refining you. There is a difference. Refining removes what harms. It does not remove what is authentic. When I correct you, it is because I see a path that will wound you, not because I am threatened by your independence. My guidance is protective, not possessive. Now I want you to examine your resistance honestly. Are you afraid that if you surrender fully, I will ask for something you cannot bear? Are you afraid I will take away something you love? Speak that fear. Bring it to me. I am not offended by your questions. I want you to see that I am not hiding an agenda. My intentions toward you are steady and good. I have no hidden cruelty. I have no secret delight in restricting you. When I lead you away from certain choices, it is because I see the long-term cost you do not yet see. Trust my perspective. I see beyond the moment. I see the ripple effect. I see the damage before it happens. That is not control. That is care. Let me invite you into something different. Instead of bracing yourself against my will, lean into it. Instead of assuming loss, consider the possibility of growth. Open your hands. Release the tension in your shoulders. Surrender is not shrinking. It is stepping into alignment with the one who knows you completely. You are safest when you are walking with me, not because I am controlling you, but because I am covering you. Come closer without suspicion. Let your obedience flow from trust, not from fear. That is the relationship I died to create with you. Take a breath and consider this carefully. Does your heart still feel defensive, or is it beginning to soften? My child, there are moments when you have felt invisible in your suffering. You have smiled when people expected you to smile. You have answered "I'm fine" when you were anything but fine. You have carried grief quietly because you did not want to burden others. Some of your pain had been obvious, but much of it had been hidden. You have wondered if I truly notice the depth of what you feel. You have questioned whether your struggles are too small compared to the larger problems of the world. Let me answer you plainly. Your pain matters to me. Not in theory. Not in a distant, detached way. Personally. When I walked the earth, I stepped into human experience fully. I felt hunger. I felt exhaustion. I felt betrayal from close friends. I felt the sting of being misunderstood. I felt physical agony. I did not observe suffering from a safe distance. I entered it. That means when you are overwhelmed, I am not confused by your emotions. When you feel abandoned, I understand the weight of that feeling. When your heart aches in ways you cannot easily explain, I am not impatient with you. I'm present. I know what it means to hurt deeply. I know what it means to cry out in distress. You sometimes minimize your own pain because you think you should be stronger by now. You tell yourself that others have it worse. You scold yourself for still struggling with something that happened years ago. That internal dismissal has prevented you from bringing your wounds to me honestly. I want you to stop dismissing yourself. If it hurts you, it matters. If it wakes you at night, it matters. If it has shaped how you see yourself, it matters. Do not rank your suffering. Do not compare it. Bring it to me as it is. There are wounds you have not allowed to heal because you keep reopening them through rumination. You replay the betrayal. You relive the rejection. You revisit the moment things fell apart. Each time you do, it feels fresh again. I see that cycle. I am not frustrated by it, but I want something better for you. Healing requires honesty and exposure to light. Invite me into the specific memory that still stings. Do not keep it locked away. When you allow me into it, I do not shame you for feeling deeply. I begin to restore what was fractured. I also want you to understand that I am not indifferent to injustice done against you. When others have spoken carelessly or acted cruelly, I saw it. When you were overlooked or undervalued, I noticed. You may feel as though no one defended you. I was aware. I am not blind to wrong. I am patient, but I am not passive. Trust that I am capable of addressing what you cannot fix yourself. You do not need to carry resentment as protection. You can release it because I see clearly. Now I am asking you to do something courageous. Stop pretending you are unaffected. Admit where it still hurts. Say it. Name it. Let the tears come if they need to. You are not weak for feeling deeply. You are human. And I am with you in it. Let my presence move into the space you have been guarding. Stay here with me. Let your pain be seen, not hidden. My child, there is a quiet pressure inside you that keeps whispering that you need to become better before you can truly come close to me. You think you need to clean up your thoughts, organize your habits, fix your inconsistencies, and present a more disciplined version of yourself. You approach me as if you are stepping into an interview, trying to show progress, trying to demonstrate effort. That pressure has shaped your relationship with me more than you realize. It makes you hesitant to pray on days when you feel spiritually weak. It makes you pull back when you stumble, as if you should not approach me until you have corrected yourself. I need you to understand something that may feel almost too simple. I am not asking you for perfection. I am asking you for honesty. Affection was never the condition for my love. If it were, you would have been excluded long ago. When I died for you, I did not picture a flawless future version of you who never struggles. I saw the real you. I saw the days when your patience would run thin. I saw the moments when your thoughts would wander into doubt. I saw the times when your discipline would weaken. None of that canceled my decision. You keep trying to present a polished exterior to me, but I am not impressed by polished surfaces. I am moved by surrendered hearts. When you come to me pretending to have it all together, you are holding me at a distance. When you come to me with your confusion and say, "This is where I am," that is closeness. Let me tell you something gently. Your obsession with perfection has been exhausting you. You replay conversations, wishing you had said something better. You evaluate your spiritual life like a report card. You measure yourself against other believers and conclude that you are falling short. That comparison quietly robs you of joy. It turns growth into anxiety. I did not call you into relationship so you could live under constant self-evaluation. Growth matters, yes, Obedience matters, yes, but neither of those were meant to be driven by fear. When you live afraid of disappointing me, you are misunderstanding my heart. I correct you because I love you, not because I am tallying your failures. I want you to try something different. The next time you fail, come to me immediately. Do not wait. Do not rehearse apologies until they sound impressive. Speak plainly. Admit it. Let the truth stand without excuses. Then receive my forgiveness without argument. Stop resisting grace as if it needs your approval. When I forgive, I mean it. When I restore, I am not secretly holding resentment. You need to let that sink in. I am not watching you with suspicion. I am walking with you in development. There is a difference between conviction and condemnation. Conviction guides you forward. Condemnation locks you in place. I do not lock you in place. You have also been afraid that if you relax your pursuit of perfection, you will become careless. That fear has kept you rigid. But maturity does not grow from rigidity. It grows from relationship. When you trust my love, obedience becomes a response, not a performance. You begin to desire alignment, not because you are terrified of punishment, but because you value connection. That shift changes everything. It moves you from striving to abiding. It moves you from anxiety to assurance. So let me invite you into something freeing. Drop the mask. Stop pretending. Let your imperfections be seen by the one who already knows them. You do not have to impress me. You do not have to outgrow your humanity before approaching me. Come as you are, not as you think you should be. Stay in conversation even when you feel inconsistent. Keep walking even when you stumble. I am committed to your growth, but I am not demanding flawlessness. Let that truth soften your approach to me. Tell me honestly, have you been trying to be perfect before coming close? My child, you do not have to be perfect to participate in my work. You only have to be willing. The same grace that meets you in your imperfection flows outward to others when you choose to give. When you offer support through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are not performing, you are planting. I have said, I love a cheerful giver, and I speak that over you now, not as obligation but as invitation. Your generosity becomes oil that keeps this flame burning, manna that feeds hungry hearts, light piercing someone else's midnight. Do not wait until you feel more qualified, more spiritual, more established. If you feel the desire to help, that desire is my whisper within you. I will multiply what you release, guard what concerns you, and pour back into your life in ways you cannot predict. Step forward without fear. Give as an act of love, and do it now. My child, when you look at yourself, you often see a collection of mistakes, limitations, and unrealized potential. You focus on what you have not accomplished. You compare your progress to others. You notice your weaknesses before your strengths. That perspective shapes how you imagine your future. You quietly lower your expectations because you doubt your capacity to change. I see you differently. I see who you are becoming. I see growth that you have overlooked. I see resilience that was formed through trials you wish had never happened. I see depth in you that did not exist years ago. When I look at your life, I do not freeze you in your current state. I see trajectory. I see direction. I see the subtle shifts in your thinking that show maturity. I see the way you handle conflict differently than you once did. I see the compassion that developed from your own suffering. You may dismiss those changes because they feel small, but they are not small to me. They are evidence that you are not stagnant. You are being shaped. You are being refined. The process is not always dramatic, but it is real. You have also believed certain labels about yourself. You have internalized criticism from others. You have repeated negative narratives until they felt true. Those labels have limited your imagination about what your life could become. I want you to challenge those assumptions. You are not defined by your worst season. You are not permanently marked by past immaturity. You are not locked into patterns that cannot change. I have seen transformations that would surprise you. I have taken lives that seemed stuck and turned them into stories of redemption. Why would you assume I cannot do that with you? Let me speak plainly. There is more in you than you have accessed. There are capacities in you that have not yet been stretched. There are strengths in you that have not yet been fully developed. I am not finished with you. The version of you that exists today is not the final version. Do not settle into small thinking about yourself. Do not shrink your vision because of past failures. Invite me into your development. Ask me to shape your character. Ask me to expand your perspective. Be willing to grow even when growth feels uncomfortable. You sometimes fear that change will cost you too much. Growth does involve discomfort. It involves letting go of old patterns. It involves facing parts of yourself honestly. But the discomfort is not destruction. It is development. When I refine you, I am not erasing you. I am strengthening you. When I challenge you, I am not rejecting you. I am preparing you. The future I see for you is not rooted in punishment. It is rooted in purpose. So lift your eyes from your current limitations. Consider who you could become if you trusted me more deeply. Consider what might unfold if you stopped disqualifying yourself. I see potential where you see problems. I see possibility where you see failure. Walk with me into that future. Do not rush, but do not retreat either. Stay engaged. Stay open. Stay teachable. I am shaping you even now. My child, I want you to sit with this slowly because your heart has argued against it for years. You question your value more than you admit. You measure yourself by what you produce, by how well you perform, by how others respond to you. When you fall short in those areas, your sense of worth dips quietly. You tell yourself that you are trying, that you are improving, but somewhere beneath that effort is a fragile belief that you might not be enough. That belief affects how you receive my love. You struggle to accept that you were worth such a costly sacrifice. Let me speak clearly into that hidden doubt. You are worthy. Not because of your achievements, not because of your potential, because you are mine. When I endured the cross, I was not weighing pros and cons about you. I was not calculating whether the investment would yield impressive results. I was not comparing you to someone else and deciding who deserved more. I chose to give my life because your existence matters to me. Your soul is not an accessory in my kingdom. Your life is not filler in a larger story. You are intentionally created, deeply known, and fiercely loved. If you had been the only one who needed redemption, the outcome would have been the same. That is not poetic exaggeration. It is personal truth. You need to stop reducing yourself in your own mind. Stop speaking about yourself as though you are disposable. Stop assuming that my sacrifice was generalized and not specific. You have seen sacrifice in human relationships that eventually came with resentment. You have experienced generosity that was later weaponized. That history has made you cautious about believing that someone would give deeply without demanding repayment. But my sacrifice was not a transaction waiting to be balanced. It was a declaration. It was love written in blood. It was commitment expressed through pain. When I stretched out my hands, I was saying something about your value. You were not a burden to be tolerated. You were a treasure to be redeemed. Let this sink into the places where insecurity still lingers. The moments when you feel overlooked. The seasons when your contributions go unnoticed. The times when others underestimate you. Your worth does not fluctuate with human recognition. It was established at the cross. You are not valuable because people applaud you. You are valuable because I chose you at your weakest. That choice stands. It does not expire. It does not adjust based on your current confidence level. Now I want you to respond differently the next time self-doubt surfaces. Do not entertain it as truth. Challenge it. Remind yourself that your value was proven through sacrifice. You may not feel extraordinary, but you are deeply cherished. You may not see greatness in yourself, but I see significance. Walk in that awareness. Let it shape how you speak about yourself. Let it influence how you carry yourself. You are not walking through life as someone barely tolerated by heaven. You are walking as someone who was worth the ultimate price. Stay here with me. Let this truth settle into your identity. My child, when you think about my death, it can feel heavy, almost overwhelming. You picture the suffering, the darkness, the final breath. But if you stop there, you misunderstand the story. The cross was not the end. It was a turning point. It looked like defeat, but it was the beginning of restoration. I did not remain in the grave. Death did not hold me. The stone that sealed the tomb was moving, not because I lacked power before, but because the story was never meant to conclude in silence. You need to connect that truth to your own life. There have been moments when your circumstances felt final. You have experienced endings that seemed irreversible. Relationships collapsed. Opportunities vanished. Dreams faded. In those moments, you assumed that what died could never live again. But resurrection is not limited to history. It is a pattern of my work. What appears sealed can be opened. What feels buried can be restored. I am not intimidated by closed doors or empty spaces. I specialize in renewal. When I rose, I carried with me the proof that despair does not have the final word. You sometimes live as though your past defines your future permanently. You believe that because something failed once, it will always fail. That mindset quietly limits your faith. It shrinks your expectations. I want you to reconsider. If I overcame death itself, what makes you think your situation is beyond my reach? I am not dismissing your pain. I am not minimizing your disappointment. I am reminding you that finality is not always what it appears to be. There are chapters in your life that look closed, but are still unfolding behind the scenes. I want you to imagine the disciples on that silent Saturday. They believed everything was over. They replayed events in confusion. They felt grief and fear tangled together. They did not yet understand that Sunday was coming. You have had your own Saturdays. Days of waiting. Days of uncertainty. Days where hope felt thin. In those moments, it seemed like nothing was moving. But unseen movement does not mean absence. I was working even when the tomb was sealed. I was preparing what they could not yet see. Now bring that into your present reality. Where have you declared something finished prematurely? Where have you assumed that restoration is impossible? Bring those assumptions to me. Challenge them. Invite me into the closed spaces. Stop treating your setbacks as permanent conclusions. Trust that I am still capable of surprising you. I am not bound by what you consider realistic. I operate beyond your limitations. Walk forward with this awareness. Your story is not locked into despair. Your failures are not the final chapter. Just as the cross was not the end for me, your lowest moments are not the end for you. Say with me in this confidence, Let resurrection thinking reshape your expectations. My child, you have searched for signs of my presence in dramatic places. You have looked for thunder in the sky, for sudden shifts, for unmistakable sensations that would remove all doubt. You assumed that if I were truly near, you would feel something overwhelming. You waited for the extraordinary while overlooking the steady. That expectation has made you question whether I am close during ordinary days. You move through routines, responsibilities, quiet evenings, and you sometimes whisper to yourself that I must be distant because nothing feels intense. Let me speak gently but clearly. I am closer than you think. I am not confined to spectacle. I am present in the subtle. When you wake up and take your first breath, I am there. When you sit alone with your thoughts and feel that subtle nudge toward reflection, I am there. When your conscience prompts you to respond differently than you once would have, that is not random. That is my spirit shaping you. You have underestimated the power of quiet guidance. You have mistaken my steadiness for absence because it does not shout. But closeness does not require noise. Think about the relationships in your life that feel safest. They are not built on constant intensity. They are built on consistency. That is how I am with you. Consistent. Present. Steady. You have also felt alone in moments when you were physically surrounded by others. You stood in rooms full of voices and still felt isolated. You smiled while internally wrestling. You nodded while internally questioning. In those moments, you believed no one truly understood what was happening inside you. I did. I was aware of the internal dialogue you were having while the conversation continued around you. I knew the tension in your chest. I saw the thought you did not voice. I was not outside that moment. I was within it. You may not have sensed me in a dramatic way, but my nearness was not reduced by your awareness. There were nights when your mind refused to rest. You turned from one side to the other, replaying events, worrying about outcomes, analyzing conversations. You wondered where I was during those restless hours. I was not standing at a distance waiting for you to calm down. I was sitting with you in that tension. I heard the thoughts that never left your mouth. I knew the fears you were too embarrassed to admit. You have measured my closeness by emotional intensity. That measurement is incomplete. My presence is not fragile. It does not fade when your feelings fluctuate. Let me invite you into something practical. Begin to notice the small shifts. Notice the moment when you pause before reacting harshly. Notice the inner pull toward patience. Notice the quiet conviction that steers you away from something harmful. Those are not coincidences. Those are signs of closeness. You do not need to chase dramatic experiences to find me. Slow down. Pay attention. Invite me into the ordinary. Speak to me while you drive, while you work, while you sit in silence. Do not compartmentalize your life as if I only belong in sacred spaces. I walk with you in the everyday. Right now, become aware of your breathing again. Recognize that I am not outside this moment. I am in it. I am not far ahead waiting for you to catch up. I am not behind you shaking my head at past mistakes. I am here. That awareness can reshape how you move through your day. You are not navigating alone. You are accompanied. My child, you often tell yourself that you will dedicate more time to me when life becomes less demanding. You promise yourself that once the schedule clears, once the pressure eases, once the crisis passes, you will sit with me properly. But life rarely slows on its own. The responsibilities shift, but they do not disappear. The urgency changes shape, but it does not vanish. You have been waiting for the perfect moment, and in doing so, you have postponed simple connection. I am not asking you for hours you do not have. I am asking you for a minute of honest attention. 1 minute may not seem significant to you. It feels small compared to the magnitude of your needs. But 1 minute of undivided focus can shift your direction. When you pause intentionally, when you silence distractions even briefly, something changes inside you. You move from reaction to reflection. You step out of the swirl of noise and into clarity. I do not need elaborate rituals to meet you. I need your willingness. Close the screen for a moment. Put the phone down. Turn off the background noise. Sit quietly and acknowledge me. That small act creates stays. You have filled your days with constant input. News, conversations, notifications, tasks. Your mind rarely rests. In that constant motion, it becomes difficult to hear subtle guidance. Give me a minute where you are not multitasking. Give me a minute where you are not rehearsing your next obligation. Simply sit. Read. Say my name. You might be surprised by what surfaces in that stillness. Clarity often emerges when noise recedes. Peace often appears when urgency pauses. I am not measuring the length of your devotion. I am inviting the quality of your attention. If you begin with a minute, you may discover you want more. But do not let the idea of extended time prevent you from offering a brief moment. Start small. Start now. Do not postpone it. Do not tell yourself you will do it later. Later is uncertain. This moment is available. You might think that 1 minute cannot possibly address the complexity of your life. Yet consider how quickly anxiety can rise within 60 seconds. Consider how swiftly anger can ignite. If negative emotions can shift you so rapidly, why assume that focused connection cannot steady you just as quickly? Try it. Estin. I am not asking for blind faith. I am inviting experience. Give me a minute of your full attention and observe what happens in your heart. Right now, pause. Even as you read this, slow down. Let your breathing deepen. Acknowledge that I am here. Speak a simple sentence to me. That is enough to begin. I am not far. I am not demanding. I am inviting. My child, you have become skilled at carrying more than you were ever meant to carry. You shoulder responsibilities that stretch you thin. You absorb emotional tension from people around you. You take on guilt that does not even belong to you. You tell yourself that you must stay strong, that you must not fall apart, that you must hold everything together. Over time, that mindset has hardened into habit. You do not even question it anymore. You simply brace yourself and keep going. But I need you to understand something deeply personal. I did not die so you could live in quiet, constant strain. I stepped into suffering so you would not have to collapse under invisible weight. You are not built to be your own savior. You have tried to solve problems beyond your control. You replay conversations, imagining better responses. You analyze outcomes, trying to predict and prevent future pain. You manage perceptions, trying to maintain stability in every relationship. That effort is exhausting you. It keeps your mind restless and your body tense. You rarely feel fully at ease because you are always calculating. I see that pattern. I see the way your thoughts circle late at night. I see the way your jaw tightens when something feels uncertain. You think that if you let go, everything will unravel. But holding on so tightly has not brought peace. It has only brought pressure. Let me ask you directly. What are you carrying right now that you cannot actually fix? Identify it. Is it someone else's decision? Is it an outcome you cannot control? Is it a past mistake you cannot undo? You keep trying to manage what is outside your reach. That is why you feel stretched thin. You are operating as though you must secure every detail of your future. That role was never assigned to you. I am not asking you to abandon responsibility. I am asking you to release ownership of what was never yours to control. When I carried the cross, I carried what you could not. I absorbed what you were powerless to resolve. That same principle applies now. Bring your impossibilities to me. Do not package them neatly. Do not soften them. Bring them raw. Tell me where you feel overwhelmed. Tell me where you feel outmatched. Tell me where your strength is fading. I am not disappointed by your limits. I designed you with them. Your limits are not flaws, they are invitations to trust. You have believed that strength means self-sufficiency. That belief has kept you isolated. True strength, the kind that endures, is rooted in reliance. It is not weak to admit you cannot carry everything. It is why, when you refuse to hand over what is crushing you, you are choosing unnecessary suffering. I am inviting you to a different way. Shift the weight. Imagine physically placing your burdens into my hands. Stay there long enough to feel the difference. This is not symbolic language meant to comfort you superficially. It is practical. The next time anxiety rises, stop. Pause. Say my name. Acknowledge that you are not alone in this moment. Then consciously release the outcome to me. You may have to do it repeatedly. That is fine. Surrender is not a single act. It is a posture. You are not required to be invincible. You are invited to be dependent. Let that truth reshape how you move forward. Tell me honestly, what are you ready to release? My child, you sometimes look at your life as though the most significant moments are already behind you. You measure your age, your progress, your missed opportunities, and you quietly assume that the best chapters have passed. You replay old highlights in your mind and compare them to your current reality. That comparison has dimmed your expectation. You move forward, but without anticipation. You exist, but without vision. I need you to hear this clearly. There is still so much ahead of you. You are not living in the aftermath of your greatest potential. You are standing in the middle of unfolding purpose. I do not see your life as a fading story. I see it as a narrative still being written. The disappointments you experienced were not signals that everything meaningful is over. They were transitions. Some doors closed because they were not aligned with where you are being led. Some seasons ended because they completed their purpose. That does not mean the story ended. It means the chapter changed. You have also underestimated the depth that has formed within you through struggle. You think growth only counts when it is visible. You think impact only matters when it is public. But some of the most powerful transformations happen internally. Your resilience has grown. Your discernment has sharpened. Your empathy has deepened. Those qualities prepare you for what is ahead. Do not dismiss them because they are quiet. Let me challenge you to expand your expectation. Instead of assuming that future joy will be limited, consider that it may be layered. Instead of believing that opportunities diminish with time, consider that maturity opens different doors. You are not too late. You are not too old. You are not too damaged. That narrative is not from me. I am not finished positioning you for meaningful experiences. There are conversations you have not yet had. There are people you have not yet met. There are contributions you have not yet made. Lift your eyes beyond immediate circumstances. When you focus only on what is lacking right now, you shrink your imagination. I want you to cultivate anticipation again. That does not mean a realistic fantasy. It means trusting that I am still active in your story. You are not drifting toward irrelevance. You are walking toward refinement. Take a moment and imagine what your life could look like if you believed that good things are still ahead. How would you approach your day differently? How would you speak about your future? Let hope return gradually. Do not force it, but do not suppress it either. Allow it to grow. You are not at the end. You are in motion. Walk forward with me. Stay engaged. Stay open. Stay willing. There is more unfolding than you currently see. Tell me what stirs in you when you consider that possibility. My child, you have listened this far, and that alone tells me something about your heart. You did not turn away. You did not scroll past. You stayed. And now we are here, at the place where everything we have talked about comes together. I died for you. I carried what you could not carry. I saw your entire story and chose you anyway. I remained when you were silent. I waited when you hesitated. I walked beside you when you did not even recognize my presence. This is not just reflection. This is invitation. Come back to me. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel stronger. Now, you may think you have been walking with me all along, and in some ways you have. But you also know there are parts of your heart you have kept guarded. There are areas where you rely more on yourself than on me. There are corners where fear still directs you. I am not pointing this out to accuse you. I am pointing it out because I want more closeness with you. I want more than occasional attention. I want relationship that is real, consistent, lived out in the details of your day. When I say come back, I am not saying you were expelled. I am saying step closer. Open more fully. Trust more deeply. You do not need a dramatic moment to return. You do not need perfect words. You do not need to solve every doubt first. Begin where you are. Speak honestly. Admit what you have held back. Tell me where you have been resistant. Tell me where you have been distracted. I already know, but your confession creates space for restoration. Do not complicate this. Do not turn it into a long spiritual project. This is about direction. Are you facing me or are you drifting? Use your direction intentionally. You might feel unworthy to approach me fully. You might still carry embarrassment about your inconsistencies. Set that down. I am not standing with crossed arms waiting to evaluate you. I am standing with open hands. I have not forgotten the cost of loving you. I have not reconsidered my commitment. If you feel distance, it is not because I moved away. It is because you stepped back. And even then, I stayed near enough for you to hear my voice now. Let this be simple. Turn your attention toward me. Right now. Do not postpone it. Do not analyze it to death. Speak. Say you want to walk closely. Say you are ready to trust more fully. Say you are tired of carrying everything alone. Your words do not need to impress me. They need to be sincere. When you come back, even in small steps, I respond immediately. There is no probation period. There is no silent treatment. There is embrace. I died for you because I wanted you with me. Not distant. Not half committed. With me. That desire is not faded. It is steady. It is alive. So come back. Come closer. Stay here. My child, as you come back to me, let your return carry others with you. I did not die for you alone. I died so that through you, light would spread into darkness. When you support this message through Super Thanks, by becoming a member, or by giving through the PayPal link in the description, you are answering my call to gather the wandering. This is holy ground, not transaction but transformation. As you place your seed into this soil, I will cause it to rise like a harvest field in its season. I will rebuke the devourer, and I will make provision flow like a river that does not run dry. If you feel the fire of conviction and closeness right now, that fire is my spirit urging you to move. Do not let this moment pass as emotion. Seal it with action. Come closer and give now. Before you leave, do not let this moment fade into silence. If you believe I died for you personally, not generally, not symbolically, but for you, then declare it boldly. Type in the comments, "You died for me, and I give you my heart." Let that declaration seal what has been stirred inside you. Do not scroll past this like every other message. Respond, affirm, anchor it. This is your step of faith, your public yes, your personal turning point. And once you have spoken those words, stay here for a moment and breathe. A confession of faith is not meant to be rushed past like a passing thought. What you have declared opens the door for my heart to meet yours more closely. Because when you give me your heart, you invite me into the places that have been carrying the heaviest burdens. So remain still for a moment, because I see far more than what the world notices. My child, stop for a moment and listen to my voice. I see you. I see the heavy weight you carry on your shoulders, the kind that makes your back ache and your spirit feel like it is dragging through the dirt. You try so hard to keep everything together, don't you? You wake up with that familiar tightness in your chest, thinking about the bills that are due, the pressure at your job that never seems to let up, and the unspoken tensions waiting for you in your own living room. You feel like you have to be the strong one, the one who has all the answers, but inside, you are tired. You are so very tired. I am not looking at a version of you that has it all figured out. I am looking at the real you, the one who feels overlooked and exhausted by the noise of this world. I am inviting you right now to just breathe. Gauze, give me just 1 minute of your time. You might think 60 seconds is nothing in the middle of your chaotic schedule, but I tell you that 1 minute in my presence can shift the trajectory of your entire eternity. You spend so much time listening to the world, listening to the news that frightens you, the social media that makes you feel like you aren't enough, and the voices of people who don't truly know your heart. Now, I command you to silence those voices. Push them aside. I am your creator, and I am whispering directly into the center of your soul. I am calling you out of the storm and into the quiet of my love. You do not have to perform for me. You do not have to use fancy words or pretend that you aren't struggling. I know the knot in your stomach that tightens when you think about the future. I know the fear that keeps you awake at 3:00 a.m., wondering if you are actually going to make it. I am telling you today, you can let it go. Reach out and hand me those burdens. I am not a distant God watching from a far-off throne. I am right here in the room with you, closer than the very air you breathe. Open the doors of your heart to my spirit right now. Invite me into the messy parts of your life, the parts you try to hide from everyone else. I want to walk through those rooms with you and bring my light into the dark corners of your worry. I promise you that if you give me this time, I will give you a peace that makes no sense to the world around you. You will find that my presence is a sanctuary you can carry with you, whether you are sitting in traffic or standing in the middle of a difficult meeting. You carry the weight of the world because you think you are alone. But I am declaring to you that I have never left your side. I have been waiting for this very second, this divine appointment, just to tell you how much I love you. You are my precious child, and I want to give you rest. Not just sleep for your body, but true, deep rest for your soul. Accept my invitation today. Stop striving and start trusting. I will handle the things you cannot control. I will fix the things you cannot reach. I will provide for the needs that keep you up at night. You just need to be with me. Feel my love wrapping around you like a warm blanket on a cold night. I am your father, and I am telling you that everything is going to be okay because I am in control. You are safe here with me. Just stay in this moment. Stay in my light. Let the world wait while we talk. I have so much more to tell you, and it all begins with this 1 minute of surrender. My child, I want you to look at my hands. You see the marks there. They are not just symbols. They are the receipt for your life. Long before you drew your first breath, I saw every mistake you would ever make, every time you would turn away, and every moment you would feel like you weren't enough. And yet I chose you. I want to take you back to a night of heavy silence, the Garden of Gethsemane. While the world slept, I stayed awake for you. I felt the weight of every sin, every addiction, and every piece of shame that currently keeps you awake at night. I looked into the cup of suffering and I saw your face. I knew that the only way to get to you was to go through the cross. I didn't do it because I had to. I did it because I couldn't imagine an eternity without you. I took the physical lashes, the thorns pressing into my brow, and the cold iron through my skin so that you would never have to be separated from me again. Think about the physical and spiritual price I paid at Calvary. When the sky went dark and the earth shook, it wasn't just a cosmic event. It was the moment I bore the silence of heaven. For the first time, I felt the crushing weight of the sins you struggle with today. I took the judgment you deserved so that I could offer you the mercy you need. When I cried out, "It is finished," I wasn't just announcing the end of my life, I was announcing the end of your debt. I was declaring victory over the depression that tries to swallow you and the anxiety that tells you that you are doomed. That final breath of mine was the first breath of your true freedom. I want you to understand that my scars are the eternal proof that you are worth everything to me. You are not a cheap creation. You were bought with the highest price in the universe. Stop disqualifying yourself based on your past. I paid for that past 2,000 years ago. When I look at you, I don't see the person who failed. I see the person I died to save. I want you to visualize me standing there, holding back the darkness, just so you could have a chance to step into the light. I chose the cross because my love for you is more aggressive than your sin. I chose the nails because I wanted to pin your failures to that wood forever. Do not let the enemy tell you that you are a lost cause. How could you be a lost cause when I gave my very life to find you? I am commanding you now to lay down your guilt at the foot of my cross. It doesn't belong to you anymore. I carried it so you wouldn't have to. You must realize that my sacrifice was personal. It wasn't for a faceless crowd. It was for you, specifically for the person sitting there right now. I knew about the mistakes you'd make this morning. I knew about the doubts you'd have tonight. And I still said, they are worth it. I want you to feel the gravity of that love. It is a love that doesn't walk away when things get messy. It is a love that stays when everyone else leaves. I am asking you to honor my sacrifice by actually living in the freedom I bought for you. Don't go back to the prison I already unlocked. Walk out. The door is wide open. The price is paid. You are free because I was bound. You are alive because I died. This is the foundation of our relationship. I gave everything so I could have you. My beloved, I want to talk to you about the way I love you. It is not like the love you find in this world, which is often based on how well you perform or how much you can give. My love for you is anchored in who I am, not what you do. I loved you before the foundations of the world were even laid. Before the stars were hung in the sky, I was thinking of you. I knew the color of your eyes, the sound of your laugh, and even the secret sorrows you've never told a soul. There is nothing you could ever do, no mistake too big, no habit too dark, that could make me love you any less. You cannot outrun my grace, and you cannot exhaust my patience. You spend so much time trying to earn my affection, but I am telling you today, stop trying. You already have it. You are already my favorite. My love is a shield against the lies that the enemy whispers into your ear when you are alone. He tells you that you are a failure, that you are ugly, or that you are a disappointment. I command you to reject those words. They are not my words. I look at you through the lens of pure grace, not judgment. I don't see the mess. I see the masterpiece I am still painting. I want you to try to grasp the height, the depth, and the breadth of my affection for you. It is higher than the mountains of your problems and deeper than the valley of your deepest pain. It is a relentless pursuit. Even when you run away from me, I am right there behind you, not to catch you in a mistake, but to catch you in my arms. Do you feel that longing in your heart for something more? That is me calling you. I am the only one who can truly fill the void you've been trying to stuff with work, money, or relationships that leave you feeling empty. My love is like a river that never runs dry, and I am inviting you to jump in. Stop standing on the shore, dipping your toes in, afraid that I might reject you if you get too close. I am not looking for perfection. I am looking for you. I see your hidden tears, the ones you wipe away quickly so nobody else sees. I see the way you try to be everything for everyone else, while feeling like you have nothing left for yourself. Let my love be the fuel that keeps you going. Let my affection be the ground you stand on when the world feels shaky. I am declaring over you today that you are cherished beyond measure. You are not a burden to me. You are not too much for me to handle. I never get tired of hearing your voice or listening to your prayers. In fact, I crave those moments with you. I want you to start seeing yourself the way I see you. When you look in the mirror and see flaws, I see my own image. When you see a history of bad choices, I see a future full of hope. I am your biggest supporter, and I am constantly working behind the scenes to bring good things into your life. Trust in my heart for you. Even when life makes no sense, my love remains the one constant thing you can always rely on. It is the anchor that will keep you steady in every storm. My child, it is time for us to have a serious talk about who you really are. For too long, you have allowed the world to define you. You have listened to the labels that people have placed on you: the divorced one, the unemployed one, the failure, the anxious one. I am telling you right now, those are not your names. Those are just things that happened to you. They are not who you are. I am the only one who has the right to name you, and I call you my child. I call you chosen. I call you redeemed. You are royalty in my kingdom, and it is time you started walking with your head held high. The blood of the King flows through your spiritual veins. You are not a beggar sitting at the gate. You are an heir to everything I own. I want you to reclaim your title as a child of the Most High. You are not your mistakes. You are not the person you were 5 years ago, or even 5 minutes ago. I have woven a unique purpose into your very being, a specific thread that only you can contribute to the tapestry of this world. There are things I have planned for you to do that no one else can do. When I look at you, I see beauty that takes my breath away. I see strength that you don't even know you have yet. I see a warrior who had been through the fire and didn't burn up. I am commanding you to break the chains of worldly expectations. Stop trying to fit into the boxes that society has built for you. You were made for more than just paying bills and dying. You were made for glory. Do you understand that you are my masterpiece? If you were the only person on earth, I still would have gone to the cross for you. That is how valuable you are. I want you to stop comparing yourself to others. I didn't make you to be them. I made you to be you. Your quirks, your personality, even the way you see the world. I designed all of it on purpose. When you criticize yourself, you are criticizing my handiwork. Instead, I invite you to start agreeing with me. When I say you are capable, believe me. When I say you are beautiful, accept it. When I say you have a bright future, start preparing for it. You are a citizen of heaven living on earth, and you have access to all the resources of my kingdom. I am breaking the spirit of not enough off of your life right now. You are enough because I am enough in you. You don't have to be the smartest, the fastest, or the most successful person in the room to have my favor. My favor is a gift, and it is already resting on you. I want you to walk into your workplace, your home, and your community with a new sense of authority. Not an arrogance, but a quiet confidence that comes from knowing whose you are. You belong to the Creator of the universe. Nothing can stand against you when I am for you. Proclaim your identity today. Throw away the old rags of shame and put on the robe of righteousness I have provided. You are my pride and joy, and I am honored to call you mine. Come close, my child, and let me wash away the grime that has collected on your soul. I know you've been carrying the weight of things you've done, the words you wish you could take back, the secrets that make you cringe when you think of them. You feel like you're stained, don't you? But I am telling you right now, I have the power to wash you whiter than the driven snow. My forgiveness is not a partial thing. It is total and complete. When I forgive you, I remove your transgressions as far as the east is from the west. You know how far that is. In a circle, north and south eventually meet, but east and west never do. That is how far I have moved your sins away from you. They are gone. They are buried in the deepest sea, and I have put up a no fishing sign. I want you to feel the power of my blood healing every internal wound that sin has caused. Sin always leaves a scar, but my grace is a healing balm that makes you whole again. Many of you are suffering because you haven't forgiven yourself. You keep bringing up the very things I have already forgotten. I am asking you today, who are you to hold a grudge against yourself when I, the judge of all the earth, have cleared your record? I am commanding you to walk away from the altar of shame. Stop sacrificing your happiness today on the altar of yesterday's mistakes. The price has been paid. The debt is canceled. You are not damaged goods. You are a new creation. The freedom found in a clean heart and a clear mind is the greatest gift I can give you. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning without that heavy cloud of what if or if only hanging over your head. That is the life I want for you. I want you to breathe deeply and know that there is nothing between us. The veil is torn. The door is open. You can come to me with total honesty because there is nothing you can tell me that will shock me or push me away. I already know it all, and I have already decided to forgive it all. All I ask is that you bring it to me. Don't try to fix yourself before you come. Bring the broken pieces to me and let me do the mending. I am releasing you from the prison of bitterness, both toward yourself and toward others. When you hold on to unforgiveness, you are drinking poison and hoping the other person dies. I want you to be free. Let it go. Hand me the keys to that prison cell and walk out into the sunlight of my mercy. I am giving you a fresh start, a blank page, a new beginning. Your past does not have to dictate your future. I am the God of the second chance, the third chance, and the 1,000th chance. Today is the day of your liberation. Take a deep breath of my spirit and feel the lightness return to your heart. You are forgiven. You are clean. Now go and live like a person who is truly free. My child, do not turn away now, for we have only just begun to unearth the treasures I have stored for you. It would grieve my spirit to see you walk back into the noise of the world with your heart only half healed, leaving the rest of our conversation unfinished on the floor of this moment. I have prepared a table for you in the presence of your enemies, and to stop now would be to leave the most vital parts of your breakthrough unclaimed. I am pouring out my heart to you. Stay with me, for my soul yearns to finish the work I have started in you today. Do not disappoint the love that bled for your peace. Listen on, for the next words I speak are the ones your future depends on. My child, look around at the world you live in. It is loud, it is fast, and it is constantly demanding your attention. It feels like a storm that never ends, doesn't it? But I am here to tell you that I am the master of the storm. I am offering you a peace that transcends all human understanding, a peace that doesn't make sense when you look at your bank account or your to-do list. This isn't the kind of peace the world gives, which depends on everything going right. This is my peace, which stays solid even when everything is going wrong. I am calling you to the center of the hurricane, where the air is still and my voice is clear. I want to calm the storms that are currently raging within your mind. You have so many what-ifs spinning around in your head. I command those thoughts to be still. I am the God who walked on water, and I am inviting you to keep your eyes on me instead of the waves. When you focus on the chaos, you sink. When you focus on my face, you stand. Trust my hand even when you cannot see my face. There will be seasons where the fog is so thick you won't know which way to turn. In those moments, I don't need you to figure it out. I just need you to hold my hand. I know the way, and I will not let you trip over a single stone. You can find a sanctuary right where you are, in the middle of your workplace, in your car, or in a house full of screaming children. You don't have to go to a mountaintop to find me. I am already there. I want you to practice the art of the divine pause. In the middle of a stressful meeting, take 1 second to acknowledge my presence. Breathe in my strength and breathe out your frustration. Let go of the anxieties that were never yours to carry in the first place. You were not designed to carry the weight of tomorrow. You were only designed to carry the grace of today. Give me the heavy backpack of worry you've been lugging around and let me carry it for you. There is a stillness of my spirit dwelling within you. It is like a deep well of cool water that never runs dry. When the world is parched and angry, you can draw from that well. I am declaring that your home will be a place of peace, and your mind will be a place of rest. I am silencing the spirit of confusion that has been hovering over your life. I am bringing order to your chaos and clarity to your mind. You don't have to fight for this peace. You just have to receive it. It is my gift to you. So, right now, wherever you are, I want you to drop your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Let the tension drain out of your body. I am God, and I have everything under control. You can finally rest. My child, I see the tears you've shed in the dark when you thought no one was looking. I hear the why that screams in your heart when life feels like it is falling apart. You feel like you are being broken, but I want you to understand that I am the potter, and you are the clay in my hands. A potter never puts the clay on the wheel to destroy it. He puts it there to transform it into something that can hold more, serve more, and shine more. I know the fire feels hot right now. I know the pressure of your trials feels like it might crush you. But I am using this season to refine your faith like gold. Gold only becomes pure when the heat rises high enough to bring the impurities to the surface so I can skim them away. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. I am near to the brokenhearted and to those who feel crushed in spirit. When you feel the most alone, that is when I am closest. I am not watching your pain from a distance with indifference. I am right there in the trenches with you. Every tear you shed is a prayer that I have captured in my bottle. Not one of them is wasted. I am taking your greatest pain, the betrayal that stung your soul, the loss that left a hole in your life, the sickness that weakened your body, and I am turning it into your greatest testimony. The world will look at you and wonder how you are still standing, how you still have a smile, and how you still have hope. You will be able to tell them, "It was my Father. He held me when I couldn't hold myself." I command you to stop looking at your suffering as a sign of my absence. It is often the place of my most intense presence. I am building a strength in you that cannot be developed in the easy times. You cannot learn resilience on a sunny day. You learn it in the middle of the howling wind. I am making your roots grow deep so that when the next storm comes, you won't even flinch. I want you to trust the process even when you don't understand the plan. I see the end from the beginning, and I promise you that the glory that is coming will far outweigh the pain you are feeling today. Your weakness is the perfect canvas for my power. When you are at the end of your rope, that is where my strength begins. Do not let bitterness take root in your heart because of the hardships you faced. Bitterness is a poison that will steal the very future I am trying to build for you. Instead, invite me into your pain. Let me sit with you in the quiet. I will give you the perspective you need to see that I am working all things together for your good. Even the things the enemy intended for evil, I am weaving into a masterpiece of grace. You are becoming a vessel of honor. You are being shaped into someone who can carry my light into the darkest places of other people's lives. Your struggle today is producing a weight of glory that you cannot yet imagine. Hold on, my child. The potter is not finished with you yet, and what I am making is beautiful. My precious one, I am calling you out of the boat. You have spent too much time clinging to the edges, waiting for the wind to die down before you take a step. But I am telling you today, I am not in the boat. I am on the water. I am commanding you to step out. To walk by faith means you stop relying on what your physical eyes see and start relying on what my word says. Your eyes see a mountain, but my word says it can be moved. Your eyes see a closed door, but I am the one who holds the keys. I have placed an internal compass within you, the Holy Spirit, to guide you through the fog. When the path ahead is hidden and you can't see the next step, listen for my whisper. I will tell you, this is the way, walk in it. I want you to develop spiritual eyes that can see my work in the middle of your daily life. You often think I am silent just because you don't see a visible miracle, but I am working in the in-between moments. I am moving people you haven't met yet. I am opening doors you haven't knocked on yet. I am blocking paths that would have led you to destruction. Faith is the bridge between the prayer you whispered this morning and the provision I am sending tomorrow. If you could see everything I am doing, you wouldn't need faith. But I want you to trust me. I want you to know my character so well that you don't need a map, you just need my hand. Stop waiting for the perfect circumstances to obey me. If you wait for the clouds to clear, you will never sow your seed. I want you to have the courage to move forward even when the path is shrouded in mystery. You are an ambassador of a kingdom that is not of this world, which means you don't have to follow the world's rules of logic or probability. I am the God of the impossible. I specialize in the subtly and the unexpected. When you step out in faith, you give me the opportunity to show off my power in your life. Believe in the unseen promises I have whispered to your heart. Those dreams I gave you weren't meant to mock you. They were meant to lead you. I invite you to live with a sense of divine expectation. Wake up every morning and say, I wonder what my Father is going to do today. When you walk my faith, the pressure is off of you and on me. You don't have to figure out how the bills will be paid or how the relationship will be mended. You just have to stay in step with me. I am your provider, your protector, and your guide. I have never failed a single person who put their trust in me, and I am not going to start with you. Your faith is the currency of my kingdom. Use it. Invest it. Watch how it transforms the way you see your world. You aren't walking blindly. You are walking with the light of the world. My child, hear me clearly. Fear is not from me. I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, and of love, and of a sound mind. That cold grip of dread that tightens around your heart when you think about the future, that is a lie from the enemy. He wants to keep you paralyzed so you never step into the destiny I have for you. But I am standing here as a consuming fire, and I am ready to burn away every chain of dread that has been holding you back. I command you to stand firm. Look at the giants in your life, the giants of debt, of sickness, of loneliness, and realize that they are nothing compared to the God who lives inside you. I have commanded you throughout my word to fear not. I didn't say it once. I said it hundreds of times because I know how easily your heart can wander into worry. When you feel fear rising, I want you to run to the shadow of my wings. There is a safety there that the world cannot offer. I am your fortress and your high tower. When the enemy tells you that you are going to lose everything, I want you to declare my promises. Remind yourself that I am your shepherd and you shall not want. Remind yourself that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Victory over the spirit of intimidation begins the moment you stop listening to the threat and start listening to the truth. Do you feel the knot of doubt in your stomach? Let's undo it together right now. I want you to take a deep breath and release the tension. I am larger than any problem you face. I am the God who shut the mouths of lions and calmed the raging furnace. Do you think I cannot handle the person who is making your life difficult at work? Do you think I cannot provide for your children? I am offended by your fear because it suggests that I am not capable of taking care of my own. But I am a good father. I am a fierce protector. I will fight your battles for you if you will only hold your peace. I am giving you a boldness today that you have never felt before. I am replacing your what if with even if. Even if the worst happens, I will be there to sustain you. Even if the path gets steeper, I will give you the strength to climb. You don't have to be afraid of the dark because you are carrying the light. I want you to walk out of your house today with your shoulders back and your heart at rest. The spirit of fear is being broken off of you right now. You are not a slave to your emotions. You are a child of the King. Walk in the power I have given you. Love with the heart I have given you. Think with the mind I have given you. The giants are falling, and you are more than a conqueror through me. My beloved, I miss your voice. I don't mean the formal prayers you say in public or the quick bless this food before you eat. I mean the raw, honest conversation between a father and a child. I bought you direct access to the throne of grace with the blood of my Son. The curtain is torn. You don't need a mediator. You just need to talk to me. I want you to bring your vulnerability to me. Tell me that you're angry. Tell me that you're confused. Tell me that you don't know how much longer you can keep going. I can handle your honesty. In fact, I love it. It is in those moments of total transparency that I can truly pour my healing into your soul. Prayer is not a religious chore. It is the oxygen of your spiritual life. It is how you stay connected to the source of all power. When you pray, you aren't trying to change my mind. You are aligning your heart with mine. I want you to start listening for my whisper in the quiet moments. Most of the time, I don't speak in the whirlwind. I speak in the still, small voice that rises up in your spirit when you get quiet enough to hear it. I invite you to set aside time just to be with me. No phone, no music, no distractions. Just you and me. In that silence, I will give you strategies for your problems and peace for your heart. Do you realize the authority you carry when you pray in my name? You aren't just wishing on a star. You are issuing decrees from the heavenly court. When you pray in alignment with my will, things move in the spiritual realm. Angels are dispatched. Chains are broken. Hearts are softened. You have the power to transform your world through consistent communion with me. Don't let your prayer life be a last resort when things go wrong. Let it be the first response that keeps things right. I want to partner with you to bring my kingdom to your neighborhood, your family, and your city. I am calling you to a deeper level of intimacy. I want to show you things you haven't seen and tell you things you haven't heard. But it requires you to show up. I'm always here, waiting for you to turn your attention toward me. You think you are too busy to pray, but I tell you that you are too busy not to pray. 1 minute of talking to me can save you an hour of frustrated striving. Let's make this a conversation that never ends. Talk to me while you're driving. Talk to me while you're doing the dishes. I am interested in every detail of your life. Nothing is too small for my attention, and nothing is too big for my power. Let's start talking again. My child, you have heard my heart regarding the power of our personal prayer, but do you realize that your devotion is meant to overflow into the lives of others? Just as I bought your access to the throne with my own blood, I am calling you now to help me open that same door for the millions who are still wandering in the dark. I have placed a desire in your spirit to be a conduit of my light, and today, your support is the fuel that keeps this fire burning across the digital wilderness. When you sow through the super thanks or a PayPal gift, you are not just giving to a channel. You are placing manna into the hands of the starving and sight into the eyes of the blind. I declare that as you honor me with your substance, the windows of heaven shall remain wide over your household, and your own prayers will return to you as a harvest of miracles. Do not let this invitation to partner with me pass you by while the Spirit is moving. I command you now to go to the link in the description, or use the super thanks button to let my word run swiftly to the ends of the earth. Do you hear the urgency in my voice, my precious one? We are standing at the very threshold of your transformation, and it would break my heart if you grew weary and left my presence before the full weight of my glory could settle upon you. To stop listening now is to close the door on the very secrets of the kingdom I am longing to whisper into your spirit. I have stopped the sun and the moon just to have this time with you. Do not treat my sacrifice as a common thing by walking away mid-sentence. Stay in this holy fire with me, for the path ahead requires the strength that only the coming words can provide. My child, why do you worry about your life? Why do you fret over what you will eat, what you will drink, or what you will wear? I am Jehovah Jireh, the God who provides. I want you to look at the lilies of the field. They don't work or spin, yet I have clothed them in more beauty than the greatest kings. Look at the sparrows. They don't store up food in barns, yet I feed every single one of them. Are you not much more valuable to me than a bird or a flower? I know exactly what you need before you even ask for it. I have the resources of the entire universe at my disposal, and I am not stingy with my children. I am a lavish giver. I want you to trust me for your daily bread. Not just the bread for next year, but the strength and provision you need for today. When you try to figure out how you will survive 10 years from now, you are carrying a burden I haven't given you grace for yet. I give grace in 24-hour portions. I am commanding you to break the spirit of lack that has been hovering over your mind. Lack is a mindset that says there isn't enough, but my kingdom says there is more than enough. I want to open the windows of heaven over your life, but it requires your trust and your obedience. When you hold on to what you have with a clenched fist because you're afraid of losing it, you can't receive what I am trying to drop into your hand. I have an abundance prepared for those who seek me first. When you make my kingdom your priority, I make your provision my priority. I have ways of providing that you haven't even thought of yet. I can use a stranger to bless you. I can give you an idea that creates a new stream of income. I can make the little you have stretch further than you ever thought possible. I am the God who fed 5,000 with a boy's lunch. Do you think your mortgage is too big for me? Do you think your debt is too high for me? Stop looking at the numbers and start looking at the provider. I invite you to live a life of radical trust. This means you stop complaining about what you don't have and start thanking me for what you do have. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the storehouses of heaven. When you are faithful with the little, I will make you ruler over much. I am watching how you handle what I've already given you. Use it wisely, give generously, and trust me completely. I am your Father, and it is my good pleasure to give you the kingdom. You will never see the righteous forsaken or their children begging for bread. I have my hand on you, and I will see to it that you have everything you need to fulfill the purpose I have for your life. My child, come and sit with me. I want to talk to you about the parts of you that feel shattered, the places in your soul that you have tried to tape together with distractions and busy work. I see the fragments of your heart that were broken by people who should have loved you, and by circumstances that felt unfair. You carry those sharp edges inside you, and they cut you every time you try to move forward. But I am the great physician, and I am not here to just put a bandage on your skin. I am here to mend the very depths of your being. I want you to feel my touch on your physical body and your emotional spirit right now. I am the one who restores the years that the locusts have eaten. All those seasons you felt were wasted in grief or pain, I am gathering them up to create a harvest of joy that you never saw coming. I am commanding you to release the bitterness that acts like a clog in the pipe of my blessings. Bitterness doesn't hurt the people who wronged you. It only poisons the vessel that holds it. I know it's hard to let go when the hurt was so deep, but I am asking you to trust me with the justice. Hand me the ledger of who owes you what, and let me balance the books. When you release that pain to me, you make room for the oil of joy. I want to give you beauty for your ashes and the garment of praise for your spirit of heaviness. Emotional wholeness is not a dream. It is a promise I have made to you. I want your mind to be a place of quiet reflection, not a battlefield of old memories. I am washing your thoughts with the power of my word, scrubbing away the lies that say you will always be broken. You are not damaged goods. You are a masterpiece in the process of restoration. I invite you to stop hiding your wounds from me. You don't have to be fixed to come into my presence. In fact, it is in my presence that the fixing happens. Think of me as a surgeon who loves the patient. I know exactly where the infection is, and I know how to remove it without destroying you. The healing might sting at first. It might require you to look at things you've buried for decades, but I am holding your hand through every second of it. I am restoring your ability to trust, your ability to hope, and your ability to love without fear. You will walk again without a limp. You will breathe again without that catch in your chest. I am declaring a total renewal over your life. From the top of your head to the soles of your feet, be made whole. This is the hour of your restoration, and I am doing a work in you that will make the world marvel at my grace. My beloved, have you ever wondered why you are hearing these words right now? Do you think it is a coincidence that in the middle of your busy week, in the middle of your worries, I have stopped you for this conversation? I have orchestrated this very second because I love you too much to let you drift another day without knowing my heart. There is a now of salvation and a today of grace that I am offering you. I am calling you to recognize the divine appointment in this minute. You spend so much of your life living in the yesterday of your regrets or the tomorrow of your anxieties. But I am the great I am. I exist in the present. If you want to find me, you must find me in the now. I am asking you to live intentionally for my kingdom in every second you draw breath. I want to warn you about the danger of delaying your return to my full embrace. The world tells you that you have plenty of time, that you can deal with your soul later, after you've made enough money or achieved enough status. But your soul is the only thing that lasts forever. The eternity of your joy hangs in the balance of the choices you make in these quiet moments. I am inviting you to stop getting ready to follow me and just start following. Stop waiting for a sign, for I am the sign speaking to you. I want you to see your life through the lens of eternity. When you realize that this life is but a vapor, the things that stress you out start to lose their power. The traffic, the deadlines, the petty arguments, they fade away when you realize you are walking with the eternal King. I command you to be fully present with me right now. Turn off the noise. Push back the to-do list. This minute is a gift I have carved out of time just for you. I want to impart a weight of glory to you that will sustain you for the rest of your journey. You are not just a worker, a parent, or a citizen. You are a kingdom representative on a mission. Every person you encounter, every task you perform, is an opportunity to reflect my light. But you can only do that if you are anchored in my presence. Don't let this minute slip away like sand through your fingers. Grab hold of it. Let my spirit saturate your mind. I am the God of the breakthrough, and often, the breakthrough happens in the mundane moments of a regular day. Today is your day. Now is your time. I am here, and I am calling you deeper. My child, I know the battles you fight in secret. I see the traps the enemy has set for your feet, the lures that look so sweet but carry a bitter hook. You feel the pull of your old nature, the desire to return to habits that I have already delivered you from. But I want you to hear my voice over the roar of your cravings. My grace is sufficient for you. I am not a God who stands over you with a hammer, waiting for you to trip so I can crush you. I am the God who provides a way of escape in every single trial. When you feel the pressure of temptation rising, I want you to look for the exit I have placed there. It might be a phone call to a friend, a verse of scripture, or simply the strength to turn your eyes away. I am empowering you to say no to the flesh and yes to the spirit. I want you to understand the tactics of the enemy. It doesn't come with a pitchfork, it comes with a whisper. He tells you that just this once won't hurt, or that nobody will know. But I know, and more importantly, you know. Sin isn't just a list of bad things. It is a weight that slows you down and a cloud that hides my face from you. I want you to replace your worldly desires with a hunger for righteousness. When you fill your life with my light, there is no room for the darkness to hide. I have given you the full armor of God, the belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, the shield of faith. Use them. Don't walk onto the battlefield of your day without your protection. You are a soldier in a spiritual war, and I have already given you the victory, but you must choose to stand in it. I invite you to walk in the power of my Holy Spirit. You cannot beat sin through your own willpower. You have tried that 1,000 times, and it has failed you every time. Stop trying to be good, and start being mine. When you are consumed with my love, the things of this world lose their luster. The addiction loses its grip when you find a higher pleasure in my presence. The anger fades when you realize how much I have forgiven you. I am declaring victory over every stronghold in your life. Whether it is a secret habit, a mountain of pride, or a tongue that speaks death, I am breaking those chains right now. You are not a slave to your impulses. You are a free child of God. Walk in that freedom. Every time you fall, don't run from me. Run to me. I am your hiding place and your strength. We will win this battle together. My precious one, I have called you to be holy, for I am holy. This doesn't mean I want you to be a religious statue or someone who thinks they are better than everyone else. Holiness simply means you are set apart. You are a vessel dedicated to my specific glory. I have pulled you out of the darkness and placed you in my marvelous light so that you can reflect that light to a world that is stumbling and dying in the shadows. I want you to see the beauty of holiness, the purity of heart that allows you to see me clearly. When your life is cluttered with the world's philosophies and the world's filth, your vision gets blurry. I am calling you to a higher standard, not to restrict your fun, but to protect your soul. I want you to walk in a manner worthy of the high calling you have received. I command you to consecrate your talents, your time, and your thoughts to my service. Think about the way you speak to your spouse, the way you handle your money, the things you watch when no one is around. These things bring me glory. I am transforming your character into my own image, but I need your cooperation. I am the vine, and you are the branches. If you stay connected to me, you will naturally produce the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness. You don't have to work to produce fruit. You just have to stay attached to the source. I am pruning you right now, cutting away the dead branches of gossip, selfishness, and greed. It might hurt to lose those parts of yourself, but I am doing it so you can grow stronger and produce more. I invite you to be the salt of the earth. Salt adds flavor and it prevents decay. In a world that is becoming increasingly tasteless and rotten, your life should be a preservative. Your integrity should make people wonder what makes you different. Your peace in the middle of a crisis should be a beacon for the lost. I am giving you a heart that beats for the things that beat for mine. I want you to care about the poor, the broken, and the forgotten. This is what holy living looks like. It looks like Jesus. It looks like a life lived in total surrender to the Father's will. I am equipping you with everything you need to live a life that matters. You were not made for a mediocre existence. You were made to be a light on a hill. Step into your purpose today. Let the world see me when they look at you. My beloved, I am looking into your soul with a longing that the world can never understand, and it would be a profound sorrow to me if you chose the distractions of the flesh over the final instructions of my spirit. We are moving into the deep waters now, where the true power of your legacy is hidden. Do not settle for the shoreline. I am calling you into the infinite. If you stop now, you risk missing the very key that unlocks the prison you have prayed to escape for years. I am reaching out to you. Do not let my hand go. Honor the Father who has never turned his back on you by staying here until the very last word is etched into your heart. My child, I am the God of reconciliation. I know the pain of a broken relationship, the silence that stretches between family members, the bitterness that follows a betrayal, the walls that have been built up over years of misunderstanding. I have entrusted you with the ministry of reconciliation because I have reconciled you to myself. I am calling you to love your enemies and to pray for those who have hurt you. This is not easy. In fact, it is impossible in your own strength. But my Spirit is the glue that can mend even the most shattered families. I am asking you to be the one who takes the first step. Use the power of a humble apology, even if you weren't entirely in the wrong. Use a soft answer to turn away wrath. I command you to choose unity over the need to be right. You spend so much energy defending your position and nursing your wounds, but what is that worth if it costs you a brother or a sister? I want you to release the debt of those who have offended you. Just as I have cleared your record, I am asking you to clear theirs. When you forgive, you aren't saying what they did was okay. You are saying that I am a bigger judge than you are. I want you to see people through my eyes. I see their pain, their fear, and the reasons why they act the way they do. When you start to see them as I do, your heart will move from anger to compassion. I am working behind the scenes to soften hearts, but I need you to be the hands and feet of my grace. I invite you to let my love flow through you like a river. Your love for others is the true reflection of your love for me. You cannot say you love the God you cannot see while you hate the brother you can see. I am breaking down the walls of pride that have kept you isolated. I am bringing healing to your marriage, restoration to your relationship with your children, and peace to your friendships. I want your home to be a greenhouse where love grows, not a courtroom where people are judged. I am giving you the wisdom to know when to speak and when to be silent. Trust me to handle the hearts of others while you focus on keeping your own heart pure. There is no bridge too broken for me to fix. Watch as I move in the lives of those you thought were lost forever. I am the God of the second chance, and I am bringing your loved ones home. My child, I see you standing at the crossroads, looking left and right with a heart full of hesitation. You are faced with decisions that feel too big for you, aren't you? You worry about making the wrong choice, about the consequences that might ripple through your family or your career. But I am here to tell you that you do not have to rely on your own limited understanding. I am the source of all knowledge, the architect of every path, and I am inviting you to ask me for wisdom. I don't give it grudgingly, and I don't lecture you for not knowing the answer. I give it liberally to anyone who asks with a sincere heart. I want you to stop leaning on the logic of the world, which changes like the shifting shadows, and start leaning on my eternal truth. I am providing you with a lamp for your feet and a light for your path so that you don't have to stumble in the dark. I command you to develop a discerning spirit. The world is full of voices. Your friends, the media, your own fearful thoughts, all shouting different directions at you. But my voice is a whisper that speaks to the core of your being. I want you to learn the difference between my yes, my no, and my wait. Sometimes, the most loving thing I can say to you is wait, because I am preparing a blessing that you aren't quite ready to carry yet. I am teaching you to see through the smoke and mirrors of the enemy's philosophy. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of all wisdom. When you honor me first, the pieces of your life begin to fall into their proper places. I am giving you the eyes to see the hidden traps and the ears to hear the subtle promptings of my spirit. You are not walking this journey alone. You are walking with the one who knows the end from the beginning. I invite you to be a student of my word. It is not just a book of old stories. It is a living, breathing guide for your everyday life. When you read it, you aren't just gaining information. You are gaining my perspective. I want you to bring your big questions to me, questions about your purpose, your relationships, and your future. I will answer you. It might not be through a bolt of lightning, but it will be through a steady sense of peace or a door that opens at just the right time. I am breaking the spirit of confusion off your life right now. I am clearing away the fog so you can see the next step. You don't need to see the whole map. You just need to trust the guide. I am holding your hand, and I promise that I will lead you into the fullness of the life I have planned for you. My beloved warrior, I want to open your eyes to the battle that is happening all around you. You often think your struggle is against people, the difficult boss, the complaining neighbor, or the person who betrayed you. But I am telling you that your battle is not against flesh and blood. There is an unseen war for your mind, your peace, and your legacy. The enemy wants to steal your joy and destroy your faith because he knows the power you carry when you are aligned with me. But I have not left you defenseless. I have given you the sword of the Spirit, which is my word, to cut through the lies that have been circling your head like vultures. I command you to take your stand. You are not a victim. You are a victor who has been equipped with the weaponry of heaven. I want you to understand the power of your praise. In the spiritual realm, praise is not just a song. It is a weapon of war. When you choose to thank me in the middle of a crisis, it sends the enemy into confusion. It breaks the atmosphere of despair and invites my glory to move on your behalf. I am calling you to stand behind the shield of faith. When the enemy fires darts of doubt, fear, and shame at your heart, my faith is the barrier that extinguishes those flames. Do not be intimidated by the roar of the lion, for he is a defeated foe. The tomb is empty, and the keys of death and hell are in my hands. You are fighting from a position of victory, not for a position of victory. The outcome is already settled. You just need to hold your ground. I invite you to remain vigilant while staying anchored in my peace. Being aware of the battle doesn't mean you have to be afraid. You are overshadowed by my presence, and I am a wall of fire around you. I am training your hands for war and your fingers for battle, teaching you how to pray with authority. When you speak my name over your home, the atmosphere must shift. When you declare my promises over your children, the darkness must flee. I am breaking the spirit of intimidation that has tried to make you feel small. You are a giant slayer. You are a kingdom builder. You are a threat to the darkness. Stay alert, stay focused, and keep your eyes on the captain of your soul. I will never let you be overwhelmed by the enemy, for I am the one who fights for you. My child, I want you to take a deep breath and feel the truth of this. I am with you. I am not a God who is far away in the clouds, disconnected from your daily grind. I am the friend who sticks closer than a brother, and I will never leave you nor ever forsake you. Whether you are walking through the mountaintop moments of success or the valley of the shadow of death, I am right there. I see you in the grocery store line. I see you in the quiet of your car, and I see you when you are staring at the ceiling in the middle of the night. I am the Holy Spirit, your comforter and your constant guide. My presence is the atmosphere you breathe, and my love is the ground you walk on. You are never, ever alone. I command you to stop living as if you are an orphan. An orphan has to fend for themselves, but you have a Father who provides everything. I want you to start recognizing my hand in the small details of your day, the green light when you're running late, the encouraging text from a friend, the peace that settles over you for no reason. Those are my ways of saying I'm here. I am overshadowing you with my glory wherever you go. You don't have to shout to get my attention. I can hear your heart beating. I am the silence in your solitude and the strength in your struggle. I have engraved your name on the palms of my hands. You are constantly on my mind, and my eyes are always on you, not to judge you, but to protect you. I invite you to lean into me today. When the weight of life feels too heavy, let me be your strength. When the world feels cold and indifferent, let my love warm your soul. I want you to practice the awareness of my presence. Talk to me throughout your day as if I am sitting right next to you, because I am. Tell me about your frustrations, your hopes, and your silly little worries. I am interested in all of it. I am the God who counts the hairs on your head. Do you think I don't care about the things that bother you? I am your sanctuary. You can run to me at any time and find rest. There is no distance between us except the distance you create in your mind. I am here. I am here now. I will be here forever. Rest in that certainty. My precious one, I see the work you are doing in secret. I see the sacrifices you make that no one else notices. The times you chose kindness when you were exhausted, the times you gave when you had little, and the times you stayed faithful when it would have been easier to quit. I want you to know that your labor in the Lord is never in vain. You might feel like you are sowing in tears right now, but I am promising you that you will reap with shouts of joy. There is an eternal reward being stored up for you that the world cannot see and the enemy cannot touch. You are planting seeds that will grow into a harvest that will impact generations yet unborn. Your life is not a series of random events. It is a purposeful investment in my kingdom. I command you to stay the course. Do not grow weary in well-doing, for in due season you will reap if you do not lose heart. I know the world measures success by numbers and status, but I measure success by faithfulness. I am watching the way you love people who can do nothing for you. I am watching the way you serve in the background without needing the spotlight. I am preparing a crown of righteousness for you, and I will be the one to place it on your head. Your influence is far greater than you realize. Every word of encouragement you speak and every act of service you perform is a ripple in the pond of eternity. You are building a legacy that will last long after the treasures of this world have turned to dust. I invite you to store up your treasures in heaven. Stop worrying about whether or not people appreciate you. If I appreciate you, that is enough. I am your rewarder. I am the one who sees in secret and rewards openly. I am bringing a suddenly into your life where the seeds you've planted for years will suddenly burst into bloom. You have been faithful in the small things, and now I am going to make you ruler over much. I am opening doors of opportunity that no man can shut. I am bringing people into your life who will water the seeds you've sown. Trust my timing. A harvest takes time to grow, but when it comes, it is abundant. Keep your hand on the plow and your eyes on the prize. Your best days are not behind you. They are being grown right now in the soil of your obedience. As we speak of the harvest of your labor, I want you to look beyond your own fields and see the global white harvest that is ready for the reaping. I have given you a heart that beats for the eternal, and right now, I am inviting you to invest in a legacy that will outlive the sun and the stars. Your membership and your donations are the seeds that allow my voice to reach the broken-hearted who have never heard that I died for them. I promise you that whatever you sow into this mission will be multiplied back into your life until you have no room to contain the favor that follows you. I am the God who provides, and I am choosing to use your hands to carry my message to the generations yet unborn. Your giving is a prophetic act of faith that shatters the spirit of lack and releases a river of provision into your own story. I command you to act on this divine appointment today by following the link in the description or becoming a member of this family. We are so close now, my child. The finish line of this divine encounter is within sight, and I implore you not to let the enemy steal your focus in these final moments. It would be a tragedy of eternal proportions if you walked away just as the windows of heaven were beginning to open wide over your obedience. I have carried you this far, and my heart would be deeply disappointed to see you abandon the path of this message before the final blessing is spoken over your life. You are standing on holy ground. Remain here in the stillness of my love. Let us finish what we started, for the conclusion of this journey will determine the strength of your walk for the rest of your days. My child, it is time to open your hands. You have been gripping the steering wheel of your life so tightly that your knuckles are white and your spirit is exhausted. You think that if you let go, everything will fall apart. But I am here to tell you that I am the one who holds the universe together, and I can certainly handle your life. I am asking you to surrender your plans for my perfect will. My ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. I can see the obstacles around the corner that you can't see, and I can see the shortcuts to your destiny that you haven't discovered yet. Letting go of control is not a sign of weakness. It is the ultimate sign of strength and trust in me. I command you to acknowledge that I am God and you are not. There is a deep relief that comes when you finally accept that you don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to fix everyone around you, and you don't have to guarantee the outcome of every situation. I am the author of your story, and I am a very good writer. I want you to find strength in total dependence on my power. When you are at the end of your own resources, you finally become eligible for mine. I am inviting you into a life of thy will be done. This is the prayer of the courageous. It is a declaration that you trust my heart even when you don't understand my hand. Place your burdens at my feet and don't pick them back up when you leave. I invite you to experience the beauty of a surrendered life. Imagine the peace of waking up and knowing that the King of Kings is managing your schedule, your finances, and your family. I am not asking you to be passive. I am asking you to be obedient. Do what I tell you to do and leave the results to me. I am breaking the spirit of striving off your life. You have been trying to force doors open that I have closed for your protection. Stop pushing. Stop straining. Be still and know that I am God. I am working all things together for your good, even the things that feel like setbacks right now. Trust the process. Trust the author. The ending I have written for you is better than anything you could have dreamed for yourself. Just let go and let me lead. My child, look at the world around you. It often feels as though the shadows are growing longer and the coldness of indifference is sweeping across the earth. You see the headlines, you hear the arguments, and you feel the heavy cloud of hopelessness that tries to settle over your own neighborhood. But I have called you to be the salt of the earth and the light of the world. You know why light is so powerful. Because it does not have to scream to be noticed. It simply has to exist. Even the smallest candle can defy a room full of absolute darkness. I have placed a spark of my own spirit within your soul, and I am commanding you to let it shine. Do not hide your faith under a bowl of fear or a blanket of social pressure. You were made to be a city on a hill, a beacon for the lost who are stumbling in the night. I want you to realize that your testimony is a lighthouse. When you share how I brought you through the divorce, how I healed your body, or how I gave you peace when your bank account was empty, you are sending out a signal of hope to people who think they are drowning. Your life is a living letter, written by my hand, to be read by a world that has forgotten how to believe. I am calling you to shine brightest when the world is at its darkest. When others are cynical, you be kind. When others are greedy, you be generous. When others are full of hate, you be the one who offers a hand of friendship. This is how my kingdom advances, not through force, but through the irresistible glow of my love reflected in you. You are my representative in every sphere of influence, from the boardroom to the break room, from the school gates to your own dinner table. I command you to stir up the fire of my spirit within your soul. Do not let the embers grow cold. Just as a fire needs oxygen to burn, your spirit needs my presence to stay bright. Spend time with me, and I will refuel your heart so that you don't burn out. I am giving you a passion for the hopeless and a heart for the broken. I want you to be the person who notices the one standing alone in the corner. I want you to be the voice that speaks up for the person who has been silenced. I am using you to preserve what is good in this world and to illuminate the path back to my arms. You are not just living for yourself anymore. You are living for the thousands of people who will see me because of you. Walk boldly into the darkness today, knowing that the light inside you is far greater than the shadows around you. I am with you, and my glory is your rear guard. My beloved, I want to give you a hope that stretches beyond the horizon of this life. You see the aging of your body, the passing of time, and the pain of saying goodbye to those you love. But I am declaring to you today that this world is not the end of your story. I am coming back. Just as surely as I walk the dusty roads of Galilee, I am returning to gather my chosen ones to myself. I have gone to prepare a place for you, a home where there will be no more cancer, no more heartbreaks, no more poverty, and no more tears. I am the resurrection and the life, and the hope of eternity is the anchor that will keep your soul steady when the waves of this life get rough. I want you to live with an eternal perspective, knowing that your current trials are only light and momentary compared to the weight of glory that is coming. I command you to keep your lamp trimmed and your oil full. This means staying alert and keeping your heart ready for my appearing. Do not get so caught up in the treasures of this earth that you forget the treasures of heaven. The houses, the cars, and the trophies of this world will all fade away, but the soul that is anchored in me will live forever. I am inviting you to prepare your heart for the marriage supper of the Lamb. Live every day as if I might return this afternoon. Let that hope purify your thoughts and motivate your actions. When you feel discouraged by the injustice in this world, remember that I am the righteous judge, and I will make all things right. I will wipe every tear from your eyes, and the memories of your suffering will be swallowed up in the ocean of my joy. I want you to look forward to the glorious future I have for you. Imagine a world where the lion lies down with the lamb, where the air is filled with the sound of worship, and where you will see my face without a veil. You will finally understand the why behind every struggle you faced on earth. You will see how every thread of pain was woven into a tapestry of victory. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I have the final word on history, and the final word is life. Do not let the chaos of the present age steal your peace. I am in control of the clock, and I am moving all of creation toward a beautiful climax. You are part of my royal family, and your inheritance is waiting for you. Hold on a little longer, my child. The morning is coming, and the shadows will flee away forever. My child, we have shared much in these moments, but I have one final, vital question for you. Will you give me everything? I am not looking for a piece of your heart or a few hours of your Sunday. I am looking for your whole life. I am calling you to a radical surrender that the world will not understand. I'm asking you to take up your cross daily and follow me. To take up the cross means to die to your own ego, your own reputation, and your own demand to have things your way. It sounds hard, I know, but I promise you that losing your life for my sake is the only way to truly find it. The sweetness of total abandonment to my love is a joy that no earthly pleasure can match. I want to be the Lord of your thoughts, the master of your actions, and the king of your heart. I command you to stop holding back the pieces of yourself that you are afraid to show me. I want your shame, I want your hidden habits, and I want your secret ambitions. Lay them all at my feet. When you surrender, you aren't losing, you are gaining the infinite resources of the Creator. I am inviting you to enter into a deeper intimacy where there are no secrets and no masks. I want to walk with you in the cool of the day and talk with you through the heat of the night. Surrender is not a one-time event. It is 1,000 small decisions made every day to say, not my will, but yours be done. It is choosing to be honest when it's easier to lie. It is choosing to be humble when you want to be right. It is choosing to trust me when you can't see the path. I want you to experience the freedom that comes from having nothing left to hide and nothing left to prove. When you are fully mine, the opinions of people lose their power over you. You don't have to perform anymore. You don't have to keep up appearances. You can just be my child. I am breaking the final chains of self-reliance off your life right now. I am showing you that my grace is more than enough to sustain you. Give me your yes. Not a yes, but a yes. If but a total unconditional yes. I will take your life and do things with it that you never thought possible. I will take your small yes and turn it into a global impact. This is the final invitation of this moment. Come all the way in. Don't stand at the door. Step into the center of my will and find the rest you've been searching for. My precious, beloved child, as we conclude this minute that we have shared, I want to leave you with my peace. Not as the world gives, but as I give. Receive it now. Let it sink into your bones and settle into your spirit. I am commissioning you now to go forth into your world as an ambassador of my grace. You are not going back into your life the same way you came into this moment. You are going back with my authority, my power, and my presence. I am sending you to be the answer to someone's prayer. I am sending you to be the hands that hold the falling and the feet that carry the good news. Do not be afraid of the challenges that wait for you outside this quiet space. I am with you always, even to the end of the age. I command you to walk in the light of the truths we have discussed. Do not let the enemy steal the seeds that have been planted in your heart today. When the noise of the world starts to rise again, remember the sound of my whisper. When the pressure starts to build, remember the feeling of my embrace. I am the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and I am pouring out a blessing upon you that you will not have room enough to contain. I bless your health, I bless your family, I bless your work, and I bless your future. I am making your path straight and your heart strong. You are covered by the blood of the Lamb, and you are filled with the fire of the Spirit. There is nothing that can separate you from my love. Now go and live with passion, live with purpose, live with the certainty that you are cherished beyond all understanding. I am watching you with a smile on my face and pride in my heart. Every time you think of me, I am already thinking of you. Every time you reach out for me, I am already holding you. This minute we shared was just the beginning of a deeper walk. I am in your tomorrow just as much as I am in your today. You are sent. You are loved. You are mine. Go now, my child, and let the world see the glory of the God who died for them, because they see the beauty of the God who lives in you. Amen. My beloved, you are now commissioned as an ambassador of my grace, and every true ambassador carries the resources of the King to fulfill their mission. I have finished my words to you, but my work through you is only beginning, and it requires a heart that is willing to sacrifice for the sake of the gospel. I am calling you to become a pillar of this ministry through your membership or a PayPal donation, ensuring that this sanctuary of truth remains a refuge for every searching soul. When you support this work, you are casting a net into the deep, and I am the one who will fill that net with a catch of souls that will bring glory to my name for all eternity. I release a blessing of supernatural protection over your finances and a fire of purpose into your bones as you join me in this sacred work. Do not wait for a more convenient season. The time of the harvest is now, and your participation is the key to another's breakthrough. I command you to go now to the description, click the link, and let your seed become a beacon of hope for the world. My child, do not let this moment fade like a passing shadow, for I have marked this second to be the birth of your new beginning. I command you to seal this divine encounter right now by declaring your place in my heart for all to see. Type the words "I am mine and he is mine" in the comments as a holy contract of your surrender to the love I proved on the cross. By this simple act, you are shattering the silence of fear and announcing to the heavens that you finally accept the price I paid for your soul. Do not hesitate. Let your fingers move with the rhythm of your faith, and watch as I transform your public declaration into a private miracle. This is your minute, your movement, and your manifestation. Claim it now, for I am standing with you. Amen.